Traffic is blocked on eastbound 8094 in Hammond, Indiana this morning, involving a crash that took out 3 semi-tractor trailers because of the heavy snow that's falling this morning. The accident happened at Indianapolis Boulevard, and as we'll find out shortly, all lanes appear to be closed. Jim Talamonte in the traffic center tells us there's no word on any injuries. He'll have an update on the travel time in just a moment. Trains and the mail will run in the state, but maybe not some local school buses. Amtrak yesterday said it's resuming service out of Chicago today. Post office says mail will be delivered, but a number of local schools statewide are still not opening, and they're having trouble starting their school buses. Overnight, a group of suburban schools said they would remain closed for a third straight day. Schaumburg Township Elementary District 54 announcing the closure, saying the district's buses were unable to start because of the extreme cold. Metra Electric Service and the South Shore Line down for a third straight day today, though. Lines are down because of a combination of cold weather damage and power lines being struck by a derailed freight train. The Illinois Department of Public Health has said there were 144 hospital emergency room visits made, and one person died due to cold-related injuries since Tuesday. Chicago police are touting a significant drop in murders last month. The department said there were 20 murders last month in the city. That's the lowest January total since 2010. However, this morning a man is dead, shot during a home invasion on the city's far south side. Police say the victim was gunned down early this morning by someone who entered the home in the 1800 block of East 78th Street through a back door. The victim died at a local hospital after suffering a gunshot wound to the chest. Chicago police will soon be under court oversight. Federal Judge Robert Dow approved a long-awaited consent decree yesterday aimed at reforming the police department. The decree will take effect the day Dow appoints a monitoring team, which will happen no later than March 1st. Chicago Police Union leadership rank and file call the approval one of the darkest days ever for Chicago policing. Family of Empire actor Jussie Smollett is speaking out for the first time since his attack earlier this week. His family called the alleged incident a hate crime. Even President Trump weighed in on the incident yesterday.
That I can tell you is horrible. I've seen it last night. I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse.
They said their hopeful authorities will find the attackers and bring them to justice. After being cast off the ballot, Dorothy Brown is rushing to make an imprint on the mayoral election, now backing Amara Anya in the Chicago mayoral race. Candidates for Chicago Mayor Bill Daley is receiving support from Congressman Bobby Rush. Tribune reports Rush has endorsed him and expected to make a formal announcement this morning. Chicago Democrat says Daley has the national and international connections to drive economic development. The announcement comes 2 days after Cubs CEO Tom Ricketts contributed $25,000 to Bill Daley's campaign for mayor. Meantime, Ricketts' sister Laura will back Susana Mendoza in the Chicago mayor's race. Ricketts announcing yesterday she is endorsing the state comptroller, saying she has a comprehensive ethics plan for fighting corruption. Candidate for Chicago Mayor Gary Chico wants to reduce the CTA fare so inner-city residents can frequent grocery stores that are not available in their local communities and battle the so-called food desert syndrome. He announced today that if elected, he would ask the CTA to reroute bus stops closest to residential streets so riders carrying groceries have a shorter distance to travel. A Bears superfan will find out today if he's going to the Hall of Fame. Don Wachter is one of 3 finalists competing to be the first fan inducted into the Ford Hall of Fans in Canton, Ohio. Collegiately this morning, after trimming majors last year, Western Illinois University will add new programs this year, including a psychology major and an online master's degree program in music. Trustees at the University of Illinois have approved a 5th consecutive tuition freeze for in-state freshmen at its 3 schools. Tuition for Illinois residents will not change from this year's levels at the Urbana campus, $12,000 to $17,000 a year. Depends on your major. Trustees also yesterday very quietly approved renaming the UIC Pavilion here in Chicago to Credit Union One Arena. It's a 15-year deal worth about $9 million. Chicago sports, Blackhawks set to begin the second half of the season tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. Bulls travel to Charlotte tomorrow to tackle the Hornets. Fighting Illini welcome Nebraska to State Farm Center tomorrow. Tonight in weather-related makeups, UIC host Wright State and Western Illinois will welcome North Dakota. There's a retirement in the NHL and a name you should remember. Center Antoine Vermette. He retires as the best face-off specialist of his generation. Vermette announcing he's calling it a career after 14 NHL seasons. Why should you remember him? 36-year-old from Quebec won the Stanley Cup with the Blackhawks in 2015. Vermette also had a 482-game Ironman streak that lasted from March 2009 until October 2015. One of the funnest PGA events is underway in Scottsdale, Arizona. The crowds go crazy. Golfers love it. And Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler are leading the PGA's Phoenix Open at 7 under par. The news service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. If you're traveling for work, make your next stop La Quinta by Wyndham with their spacious rooms and free high-speed internet. It makes it easy to work with their comfortable beds and bright-side breakfast. Make it easy to relax. Win it business wherever you go and book at lq.com. 5:09 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Winter stinks. Snow, ice, freezing temperatures, more snow. Escape Chicago and join Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Marvel Residences Luxury Resort in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. It's a beautiful, all-inclusive resort located between Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Don't wait to book your Passport to Paradise trip with AM 560 and Apple Vacations. Visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport.
Remember when we were growing up and you heard the word millionaire? It was a big deal. Today, even if you come from a middle-class background, it's common to have saved $1 million or more for retirement. We call these folks middle-class millionaires. Hi, I'm Bill Geiger, founder and president of Geiger Wealth. Whether you wear a white collar or a blue collar, when you're getting close to retirement, you're not always sure that you're on the right track. So we've created a special report, the top 10 things to consider when preparing for retirement, to help you get ready for one of the most important milestones of your life, the decision to stop working and to retire. Go to GeigerWealth.com now for the top 10 things to consider when preparing for retirement. It's complimentary. That's GeigerWealth.com, and get on track to retire with confidence.
Geiger Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor. Insurance offered through DeBlanco Inc.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, I like to think that we're always finishing the drive to the end zone and not just blocking and tackling for our clients. We want them to be ready for the big game, their retirement.
That's right, Craig. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group has their game face on and is ready.
Make a tactical maneuver to make Wealth Management Group part of your financial force.
Pick Wealth Management Group as your offensive line. Visit us at investwithwmg.com and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Peloton is a game-changing indoor cycling bike that brings the energy of live studio classes right to your home anytime you want. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom.
It's 5:13. Means it's time to check the roads this early morning in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Fresh snow is making for a challenging commute in Elgin. There's a crash on Randall at Hobbs. There's also a crash on Randall and Westfield, south of the Adams Tollway. 8094 eastbound. Traffic's at a standstill from Burnham Avenue to Calumet Avenue, where everything is blocked. From Calumet to Indianapolis Boulevard. Collision involving 3 semis. Westbound at Stop and Go Kennedy Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard. The west, eastbound I-80, see delays from Larkin to Center Street and Richards to before Briggs due to crashes. Eastbound Adams Tollway 31, there's a crash on the exit ramp. There's no Metro Electric or South Shoreline service again today. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, intervals of clouds and sun, not as cold, the high 20. Partly cloudy, rising temperatures tonight, low 18. Drizzle tomorrow, freezing early. It'll be cloudy and milder, the high at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 5 above at O'Hare, 6 above along Chicago's lakefront, and all the reporting stations this morning have negative single digits with the wind chill. Your next news update is at 5:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's so cold.
It's so cold that the diner's closed. The diner on Marshfield and Irving Park Road. It's always open. They burst their pipes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Well, and
I'll
then they
save mine
burst the
for
pipes
later,
at
then.
Union Station and at Terminal 3. Okay, wait. It's so, Dan, how cold is it?
No, you've ruined
Oh, come on.
it. Also, it's filmy, so we get the hazardous driving conditions in addition to the cold. I mean, it's been a long week. All the spinouts.
How many, 6 were there?
I
On the way.
wasn't
I
counting,
counted
just
because
noted.
that poor guy in the Buick that's on the left-hand side of the road, I did call 911 for him. But yeah, it's ice. I mean, it's so. Why aren't there?
Did he not have a phone? Did you stop and
He
ask?
looked like an old man, and old people don't normally have telephones. So he just looked like he was in shock, and he was sitting there on the left side of the road.
Telephone?
A phone.
Let's get the rotary dial out and call
No,
somebody.
he didn't look like he had a cell phone. He looked shocked. His hands were still on the wheel.
Yeah, they were
that
out.
back end was stuck along.
They
the
were out this
median.
morning.
Hey.
They were out. They were out
I
early.
didn't see one.
Yep.
I didn't see one.
All the caravans were out early this morning, right around 3:35, 3:40. They were hitting the streets this morning.
So when's it going to heat up, Mike?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It should be about 35.
Mike, the reason she asked you is because most middle-aged women don't have apps that tell you what the weather is. So
I don't log on to that. which I
Carly Rae
probably
Jepsen over here. All right. Switching gears. Can't switch gears soon enough. The Wall, Trump, Pelosi, Democrats, Republicans, cats and dogs living together in igloos in Lakeview. Trump and Pelosi sparring on the Wall in advance of the State of the Union address yesterday. Pelosi being asked about wall funding as part of any ongoing negotiation, and here's what she had to say.
They're having a negotiation over it in there. There's not going to be any wall money in the legislation. However, if they have some suggestions about certain localities where technology, some infrastructure, as I said, about the ports of entry, we might need more ports of entry. We might need some roads. That's part of the negotiation. It is not a negotiation for the president to say. What Congress? What did he say today? Congress is. It doesn't matter what Congress does. I knew that he wanted it all to himself. I mean, oh, really? A president who wants to have Congress be completely irrelevant in how we meet the needs of the American people? No, come on.
No, come on. Don't be ridiculous. Congress to be completely irrelevant. That's ridiculous. Are we interested in negotiating with the president? No. But we're still relevant because I'm an appropriator, said Nancy Pelosi. But the important thing, of course, the first thing she said, there's going to be no border wall funding. But then the flip side was her contingent, part of her negotiating team, Nita Lowey from New York and Lucille Robal Ayard from California, they presented to the press, too. And they seemed to indicate some willingness to do something resembling a barrier. Part of it, I suppose, was the Normandy fencing.
Yeah, that's what.
That was later reported.
And that's in the the desolate areas along the border. They're still up. They've been up there for a long time. But yeah, that's a part where there's 10 specific parts along the border that they want a more fortified wall.
And President Trump responded to what he was hearing from the Democrats, saying this.
No, because if there's no wall, it doesn't work. She's just playing games. So if there's no wall, it doesn't work. And we're building the wall right now. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but we have a lot of wall under construction. We've given out a lot of contracts over the last 3-4 weeks, good contracts. A lot of wall is soon going to be under construction. We're finishing up design on certain areas, the most important areas, the Rio Grande area and others. We are building a lot of wall. You know, I'm not waiting for this committee. And I've told a lot of people, I don't expect much coming out of the committee because I keep hearing the words that we'll give you what you want, but we're not going to give you a wall. And the problem is, if they don't give us a wall, it doesn't work. Without a wall, it doesn't work.
And by the way, he's back to using wall. He's tired of barriers and fencing and the other synonyms for the wall with respect to this debate. So he's just saying it straight away. He can't get away, though. It's just saying, oh, it's already done. We're doing it anyway. What they do doesn't matter, because if what they do doesn't matter, then why have we been going through these machinations for the last 60 days? So it does matter. He's got to get some funding or find some funding to do more than is already underway.
But it was funny. He took Nancy Pelosi to task because, obviously she's from California. Well, what if they took down the wall, Nancy, between Tijuana and San Diego? She'd be begging for it back then.
No, because if there's no wall, it doesn't work. She's just playing games. If you go to Tijuana and you take down that wall, you will have so many people coming into our country that Nancy Pelosi will be begging for a wall. She'll be begging for a wall. She will say, Mr. President, please give us a wall.
And to his point, here's the actual data. 46 miles of reinforced fencing along the San Diego sector of the border. Before construction began on that reinforced fencing in 1986, there were 629,656 arrests.
Wow.
In 2016, there were 31,891 arrests. Walls don't matter? Barriers don't matter? Yeah, they do. And they make it easier, obviously, for Border Patrol to do their job. That's Trump's point, and he's precisely right. he's also suggested, and was suggested earlier this week, that Republicans have begrudgingly given him the green light to use his emergency powers, to back the play to use his emergency powers, if Pelosi and the Democrats won't budge on any sort of compromise funding. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a deal at this juncture between now and the State of the Union address on Tuesday night. And so this is, I think, incumbent upon President Trump to restate the case on Tuesday night if there is no deal.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man, at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka. On the field, they called me Iron Mike, but some days even Iron Mike can feel a little rusty, so I turned to Blue Emu. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula gets down deep for big-time comfort. And more importantly, it doesn't leave me smelling like a locker room. Now, if you excuse me, I have some yelling to do. You hit like old men. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
If you are behind on your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt or medical bills forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. It's not bankruptcy, it's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven. Call for your free forgiveness information now. 800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. Not available in North Dakota.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 27 years of providing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, puts you first, averting delays and budget overruns to produce a rewarding remodeling experience. Make 2019 the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy talking about immigration, border security against the backdrop of Tuesday's State of the Union address. Some other events that have happened that further buttress President Trump's case. Did you see this? Customs officers make the largest fentanyl seizure ever at Arizona border crossing. 254 pounds of fentanyl hidden inside an 18-wheeler carrying cucumbers during a secondary inspection at the Mariposa port of entry just this past Saturday. So, again, in terms of the drugs entering this country because of the gaps in border security. Additionally, Saturday, U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested a Salvadoran man crossing illegally into the country from Mexico. Agents identified him as an MS-13 gang member. So, yes, violent gang members that do come to this country. Small percentage, yes, small percentage, big number, big problem. Agents on Monday caught a cluster of illegal immigrants shortly after they crossed into the U.S. Checks on the records reveal one of them, a Guatemalan, was previously convicted for attempted second-degree murder in New York. He had been sentenced to 5 years. And so think about those instances against the backdrop of another caravan moving to the southern border. Griff Jenkins, over at Fox, embedded with the caravan, had this report.
So what they're going to do is they're going to take a subway ride to another station where buses provided by Mexico City's government for free will now drive them 2.5 hours north to the town of Querétaro, where they will continue their traditional journey towards the U.S. border to towns like Tijuana. Now, you mentioned, Ainsley, that reversal. It's quite a significant reversal on the new Mexican president's administration that wanted to be very open arms and welcoming to immigrants, offering this fast-track temporary asylum for 1 year, giving them a chance to work as they work their way towards likely the United States, their final destination. Well, they've stopped that. They're not offering that anymore. They capped it at $12,600. Those people will be able to get their card and their approval, but no more. And that's going to create a problem down on the Guatemala-Mexico southern border, as there are thousands already on the way in additional caravans. And we know in February 16th, yet another caravan will begin in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, where this caravan that we've been covering for the last several weeks began. So it is on the march, and as you see.
Yeah. So one caravan after the other, and yes, it's a humanitarian crisis on the border, but not solely a humanitarian crisis. Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, you know what I got? Yeah, I got 3 points, Dan. One is, why don't they use the Army Corps of Engineer money? They have billions and billions of dollars that I don't know what they do with it. And 2 is, why don't they go after the organizers? I never hear anything about that. And 3, why don't they ask Pelosi and Schumer and all of the liberal, good-hearted Democrats, how many do you want in this country? Is it 1 billion, million, everybody? Just ask them that. And then the 4th point is, do you want them in your district? Just ask them that. They're always asking, do you want funding for the wall? Are you going to fund the wall? Those questions have been answered, and they're not going to do it. So just go with a different ball game. Have a nice day.
Well, he'd have to declare a national emergency to take funds from the Army Corps of Engineers, correct?
To scramble them
to
use money to scramble them, right, to finance their work.
He should just do that. Get this over with. Just do it, because they're not going to budge on border funding or wall funding. They won't.
Or you can continue to exploit them on the topic. That's a possibility as well. One other thing with respect to what Ed said. How about taking a page out of Obrador's book, South of the Border? Oh, free bus trips to Mexico City? Okay. The caravan? Let's line up the buses. Free bus trips to Pelosi's San Francisco district. Free bus trips to Schumer's New York district.
They could camp out in front of their house, too.
Free buses to El Gallito/Chewy's district here in the city. What do you think? I like that idea a lot. Mike in Plano.
Hey, Dan, I want to get your opinion on eminent domain. It's something that hasn't been talked about on either side. Now, I'm not a fan of government seizing private property at all, but at the same time, if you're a landowner that owns land along the border, you are along an international boundary line, and I do believe a sovereign nation state has a right to secure its own border. So I understand the argument on both sides, especially from conservative libertarian types, but I want to get your opinion on that.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I mean, the Fifth Amendment provides for it, eminent domain with just compensation. I don't know what's required or how much land seizure would be required to do what has been proposed by experts in the space, including Border Patrol. I don't know, but I mean, it is provided for in the Constitution.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Bill Daley's big endorsement. And who is Dorothy Brown backing?
And at 5:38, we've got a witness in the alleged assault of Jussie Smollett.
Sorry. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
6 above, a wind chill of -5. Temps rising today in the Chicago area following several days of dangerous cold. President Trump wading into the recent uproar over a late-term abortion bill in Virginia. The president was harshly critical of Delegate Kathy Tran for introducing the bill that would have required only one doctor to certify a third trimester abortion is necessary to prevent a woman's death or harm to her health. Virginia Democrat Governor Ralph Northam yesterday tried to defend his late-term abortion bill.
Misinformation has been circulating on where Virginia Democrats stand on issues related to women's reproductive health. We believe that women and their doctors should be trusted with decisions about reproductive health.
But the bill was fairly clear, and Tran was widely criticized after video of her defending the bill circulated online. This morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis making educational waves. He's looking to get rid of Common Core.
When you complained about Common Core, I hear you. I told you I'd do something about it. And today we are acting to bring those promises into a reality.
Under executive order that goes into effect this morning, Education Commissioner in Florida, Richard Corcoran, will develop an alternative to Common Core in Florida. Facebook and Twitter pulling hundreds of accounts they claim are tied to influence campaigns in Iran, Russia, and Venezuela. Federal judge throwing the flag at unhappy New Orleans Saints fans, trying to change the outcome of the NFC Championship game. Well, the U.S. District Judge ruling in the league's favor, denying a plaintiff request that she order the NFL to replay the end of the Saints-Rams contest. The first woman to fly a tactical fighter jet has died. Captain Rosemary Mariner died of ovarian cancer at the age of 65 last week. We're watching a serious problem. Delays eastbound 8094 this morning in Hammond, Indiana. A lot of that is truck traffic at this time of day. And the crash involved 3 semi-tractor trailers near Indianapolis Boulevard. Jim Telemonte will have an update on that bad situation coming up in traffic in just a moment. Trains and the mail will run in Illinois, but not some suburban buses. For example, Schaumburg Township Elementary District 54 announcing another school closure today because the buses are unable to get started. And the polar vortex was so intense this week that even hell officially froze over. Yes, Hell, Michigan, about 15 miles northwest of Ann Arbor, was -10 earlier this week. Jim Fossmeyer lives in Hell.
Never say when hell freezes over.
Why not?
Because hell has froze over.
People in the town with a population of 76 were so cold they had to use snowmobiles to get to an emergency warming center, which just so happens to be at the local saloon. Chicago sports. Blackhawks begin the second half tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. Bulls travel to Charlotte tomorrow to take on the Hornets. PGA Phoenix Open, one of the better ones on the schedule. Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, both at 7 under par. 5:35, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says you have to pick your battles.
I'd like to believe the American people will see right through this and see that it's Pelosi who's canceling the State of the Union. Pick the hill you want to die on. You want to die on Trump besting Nancy Pelosi over the State of the Union? Or do you want to deal with border security that includes a wall? A State of the Union is one night. Border security and a wall is forever.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, equal housing insurer.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
5:38, a check on your Friday morning roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Eastbound 8094, traffic's at a standstill from Burnham Avenue in Lansing to Calumet Avenue in Munster, where the roadway is closed. Calumet to Indianapolis Boulevard, crash involving 3 semis, 1 jackknife. Westbound, it's jammed from Grant to Calumet. The west on I-80, seeing eastbound delays, Larkin, Briggs, reported crash. Westbound 355 to Francis, reported a collision. Southbound 53 Beesterfield, got a car in the right ditch. Eastbound Adams, tollway 31, crash on the exit ramp. Southbound Tri-State at Cermak Toll, crash in the right lane. Inbound Bishop Ford, heavy starting 130th, 22 minutes, 8094 to the merge. No Metro Electric or South Shore service today. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, not as cold today. Clouds and sun, high 20. Partly cloudy. Actually, temperatures on the rise overnight. A low of 18 and a high of 43 tomorrow. But watch out, because while temperatures up in the clouds will be around 43, it'll be colder here, so some of that rain may freeze tomorrow. It's a warning from the National Weather Service, so drive with care when you're out and about tomorrow. 5 above right now. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The case of the alleged attack on Empire star Jussie Smollett. President Trump was asked about it during a discussion about the larger issues of the day, like the impasse over border security. And this is what he had to say about this, what has become an international story.
The Chicago situation, the actor from Empire who was allegedly attacked with racist and homophobic.
That I can tell you is horrible. I've seen it last night. I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse as far as I'm concerned.
Perfect. President Trump playing it, fact-based. They are investigating an incident. He didn't, over-exaggerate. He kept calm and cool, and I thought that was a perfect answer to that question. But there are lots of questions that need to be answered. And yesterday we learned from a source late in the afternoon that they're not playing ball. Jussie and his manager, his name is Brandon something, they asked them for their phone records or for their cell phones, and they have refused. So now I've been told that they're trying to get a subpoena to get their phone records to find out, because they can find out where they were, if they were talking to each other, phone calls that were made. And they also are seeking a warrant to search Jussie's apartment to see if there's any items in there that may coincide with items that were allegedly around his neck.
So the reason the cell phones are important, just to refresh, is because Smollett was allegedly talking to his manager when the attack occurred. His manager says he heard a racial epithet uttered at Jussie while they were on the phone, and so they want to confirm that conversation was ongoing at the approximate time the attack occurred, the alleged attack occurred. The other issue yesterday, two silhouettes, pictures of a video snapshot of two silhouettes
in the night.
Yes, and
how many tips has that garnered? 0. Not one person called the detectives division except for this one person that they talked to on the street. But once they put that surveillance shot up, nothing.
Interesting point that CWB Chicago raised. Consideration regarding the potential persons of interest, those two silhouettes being sought by police in connection with the reported hate crime incident in Streeterville. The men are walking away from the attack scene 15 to 30 minutes before the incident per the police's timing of the events. So, perhaps there's no more information or tips about those two because, as some suspected, they really had nothing to do with it, were nowhere in the vicinity of the attack when it occurred, and then, by definition, not the responsible party.
Yeah, and then you look at Second City blog, and they wrote something. They said that this shot that they put up, the bosses want to look like they're doing something to appease Mayor Emanuel and the Hollywood money people. Empire is losing money and viewers, so it's all hands on blank deck. But they used a different word. But this, they said it like it is. It's the second coldest night of the year. A Hollywood actor bundled up against minus 20-degree wind chill was recognized by two quote-unquote fans at 2 in the morning on Lower Water Street. None of this is making sense.
Right, because it was, aren't you that guy, but pejoratives for that guy, from Empire. That's what the alleged attackers allegedly said. Now, TMZ has located a witness of sorts. A woman who lives in Smollett's apartment building told cops she saw a suspicious man who she said looked like a redneck.
Oh, my gosh.
Loitering just outside the entrance to the building an hour and a half before Jussie says he was attacked. Women would not authorize the release of her name. She said she walked out of the building at 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday to take her dogs out and saw a man near the door, pacing between the parking garage and the entrance, looking agitated and smoking a cigarette. She says he looked out of place. He was a white man with scruff on his face, wearing a blue winter beanie, a blue zip-up wet sweatshirt with a hood, and blue jeans that were too short, exposing thick gray hunting socks with camel-colored dress shoes, she says. She also says she noticed what looked like a rope or clothesline protruding from the bottom of his sweatshirt made of white and blue material. She additionally says she was staring at this person that I just described her describing.
This redneck.
She says he was staring at another man about 300 feet away who was standing near another entrance to the building. She says she got creeped out by the man, and after 5 minutes she retreated back into the building. Then she was woke up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym, noticed a lot of security, and the concierge told her that Jussie had been attacked. When she told the concierge what she had seen, the concierge implored her to call Chicago police, which
as far as I know, she has not called Chicago police. So they would like to hear from her.
She made contact that afternoon, according to this TMZ report. There's something interesting about that, this unnamed eyewitness. That is a lot of detail about this individual loitering by her building, she says.
I'm getting a text. And,
a lot of detail.
And that building has security, so that didn't show up on the surveillance video.
Well, right. These two individuals, as far as we know, haven't shown up on any security video in the vicinity, and so perhaps they exist, and perhaps they move in the shadows. and so aren't picked up on any of the video that's in the area. I mean, remember, you're talking about Streeterville, so you're talking about a lot of condo buildings, rental buildings that have security cameras. You've got businesses with security cameras, restaurants, retail shops. It's hard to walk around. It would seem to me, I haven't done a survey of my neighborhood, but it is my neighborhood. It would be hard to walk around that neighborhood and not be picked up on any security camera footage.
And another point of contention that I have is we have 20 detectives working on this. Detectives that should be working on carjackings in other neighborhoods, homicides that are unsolved in the city. And instead, we're wasting our energy on this guy, which his story, I think, is falling apart. Because I'll tell you one thing, Dan, if I was attacked, I would give police my cell phone. Whatever you need. I will help you in any shape, way, or form possible. And that's not what's happening between him and his manager, whose name is Brandon Moore, by the way.
Yeah,
who lives in the same building as Jesse.
The lack of cooperation is interesting. Now, you could say, well, look, they don't trust the police. There was a report after the incident that Smollett was reticent to file a police report at all. So they don't trust police, so that's not why they're just going to turn over their phones that have obviously a lot of other information besides a memorialization of their conversation. That could be a position. But the flip side of that is to say, as you're sort of implying, well, you're the ones who call police. So do you want to facilitate their solving of this hate crime, quote-unquote hate crime? Because I don't like that phrase because every crime is a hate crime. But do you want them to find the people responsible for the attack you said occurred or not? So isn't there a way to help them in their investigation while preserving whatever privacy you're concerned about preserving, if that's the issue?
Right. And and then the family released a statement yesterday, and Access Hollywood was just so moved.
Early hours of Tuesday morning, our beloved son and brother Jesse was the victim of a violent and unprovoked attack. We want to be clear, this was a racial and homophobic hate crime. Jesse has told the police everything from the very beginning. His story has never changed, and we are hopeful they will find these men and bring them to justice. Our family thanks everyone for their prayers and the huge amount of love he has received.
Yeah. And they also went on to say, we're so grateful that God saw him through this cowardly attack alive. Jesse is a warrior whose light cannot be dimmed. I mean,
Well,
they're acting like he's been very forthright with police, and he has changed his story because he told TMZ something different. Then the cops went back and said, did they really say this is MAGA country?
Right.
And that's when he said, oh, yes, I forgot to mention that. Hey, you forget to mention that.
Well, you would expect the family to believe their family member, number one.
Okay.
So, fine.
Fine. I'm
but
bad mom.
But factually, his story has changed. Yeah. Factually, his story has changed. So I understand the family rallying to, their son, brother. But what they're saying, that part of it just isn't true.
And what's also not true, then you have NBC reporter Ashar Kassari. I'm sorry, I just completely butchered his name. He was on Access Hollywood, which is, syndicated nationwide, spreading some lies.
Well, the police confirmed there is video that shows part of Jesse's journey to and from the Subway restaurant he went to, and that there is video of him with rope draped around his neck like a noose as he walked through his building's lobby. Natalie Kitten-Scott, I have also learned Jesse appeared to be acting normally in the footage. He's not seen approaching security.
So he walked, it wasn't a noose, it was a clothesline, and it was loose around his neck, tied up like a tie. And again, though, he did say he didn't walk up to a security guard. He just walked straight up.
Well, I mean, the story is either going to start being corroborated or it's not. Remember, another part of the alleged incident was being splashed with some chemical. So will his clothes that police, I understand, are testing,
yep.
Will his clothes show traces of bleach or some other chemical that would otherwise not be on his clothes? So that's something else that could corroborate or undermine his story. We just don't know yet.
But in the meantime, look at this. His show is sold out. He's going to California, West Hollywood, and after this attack happened, sold out within hours. And then they have that rally for him on Saturday, which we're going to be bringing you the audio on Monday of.
So potentially a couple of rednecks were hanging outside his condo building
Which they don't have footage of.
And they're avid Empire watchers, so they knew who Jussie Smollett was. Yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment, but I think there are a lot of unanswered questions in this case. In terms of the police resources, look, this case should be investigated.
Right.
Clearly.
But
does it take 20 detectives?
Just grab one, sit in a room with them, say like, "Hey, come clean. Because I believe something happened to him, obviously, because he has a laceration on his face and some bruises, and I don't know if he really has a cracked rib. I haven't heard more about that, but just come clean. Now's your time."
How many detectives were assigned to say? And I don't know the answer. I'm just curious.
Right.
Assigned to solve the Hadia Pendleton murder. How many detectives were assigned to solve the 85% of murders in the city of Chicago that go unsolved?
Not 20. Maybe one.
So,
if you're lucky, 2 or 3.
So is this an instance where there's a different level of justice for a celebrity versus just your rank and file Chicagoan, minority or otherwise? Just a note here.
It's ridiculous.
The police response that a celebrity gets versus the police response somebody else with the same fact pattern would have gotten. Or worse, like they were murdered. Like they were a kid who was murdered. Like they were a kid who was murdered and wasn't doing anything wrong. Mike in Union, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. I'm not going to pass judgment either, to Amy's point with the 20 detectives. I'm going to make a prediction that because of these Hollywood elites, Eric Holder will be in charge of a commission to find out what really happened when people who maybe are being assaulted more get no attention. So I bring that up.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
And now Empire, the producers, have given him a 24-hour armed security guard.
I think they've expanded security for the whole cast. Yeah, right. Philip in Blue Island.
I mean, this is a homophobic, racist country. So the fact that you and Amy have come to all these determinations and analyzations that are negative towards Jesse,
it's
kind of proof.
There's no
said the family's
video.
Gonna
there's no video of the attack.
You said the family's going to believe him, right? And I think that we all are a family. Why don't you believe him?
You know why I don't believe him? Because I was on the street for 18 years and I smell a rat. This did not happen.
Philip,
the way he said it did.
Oh, it didn't happen?
Philip, I'm asking.
Attacked, but not by 2 guys yelling, "This is MAGA country."
Philip.
Oh, you don't believe that? Oh, just because of that. Go ahead, sir.
I'm asking questions, so I don't know why you can't ask questions about the particulars of a case. Number one. Number two,
right.
In the same breath, you said we're a racist and homophobic country, and we're all family.
Right. Right.
Yeah, no, there's nothing contradictory about
that. So what's
that.
funny about that? I mean, because there is the element
Your
of this
hypocrisy.
that's running around
That's
talking
funny.
about that's running around doing racist stuff under the MAGA banner. So why act like that's not a part of this story? Why act like that's not?
I'm interested in this incident. You're interested in social commentary.
No,
What about this incident? Your judgment. I'm commenting on the words that you used. What about the incident?
That's fine. And I'm commenting on the words that you used. The fact that this incident, I said initially, I said we need more facts. And now that more facts are coming out slowly, not fast enough for those who are just negative towards people that are not like them, especially when it comes to this show.
Oh, gosh.
It's incumbent.
Right.
I know. You got to run from it, and you're going to talk bad about me after you.
No, I'll talk bad about you right now. You're full of crap.
Okay, come on with
See you later, Phil.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Discover the power of vitality in sexual desire with Quantum Nutrition Lab's Women's Power and Men's Potency. Buy 2, get the 3rd one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
Join Dr. Bob Marshall for Healthline, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 560, The Answer. Have you inherited a coin collection and need help figuring out what it's worth? Do you have your own collection that's just sitting around collecting dust? Turn those old coins into cash at Kedzie Coins. Cash in and pay off bills. Use the money for a new set of wheels. Kedzie Coins is also buying scrap silver and gold on the spot, and they'll give you the best fair market prices. They're committed to the strictest standards of excellence and ethics, an accredited precious metals dealer member with family roots in the heart of Chicago and members of the Professional Numismatics Guild. In the market to buy, Kedzie Coins is your destination for one of the largest selections of gold and silver bullion minted in the U.S., an enormous inventory of government-issued world coins and U.S. paper money and currency. Visit KedzieCoins.net to see the full line of available stock, or stop by one of their 3 locations: Kedzie Coins and Jewelry on 59th and Kedzie in Chicago, What a Gem Jewelry and Coins in Berwyn, or their flagship store, Broadway Jewelry and Rare Coins in Kankakee. For more info or an appointment, call 773-436-0777.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
My husband and I sold this business. We got a little chunk of change and wanted to invest it in some rental properties. Happened to find 2 at once. Was going to use my local bank and then a friend of a friend who has a mortgage company. Come to find out that they couldn't do anything for me. Ira made it seem simple. Ira knew I was needing a second mortgage. She said, Doris, give me 8 days and I can get both of these closings done for you. And that's exactly what he did.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Like, why do I have to pay a full gym membership when I don't even use all the equipment? Like the rowing machine. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing a ton of manual lake travel these days.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Al Kovac Jr., Navy veteran, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
You fought the good fight and served your country with valor. Now it's our turn to fight for you.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Marine Corps veteran, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We help you secure full benefits, quality health care, and job opportunities.
To learn more, visit pva.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
They have 2 weeks to work out a deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
If they're not going to give money for the wall, it's not going to work. And if it's not going to work, then the politicians are really wasting a lot of time.
President Trump not backing down while a bipartisan committee of lawmakers negotiates. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, both sides as far apart as ever on a border wall. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
There's not going to be any wall money in the legislation.
But she said Democrats are open to other ways to secure the border.
Technology, some infrastructure, as I said, about the ports of entry. That's part of the negotiation.
Lawmakers have until February 15th to reach an agreement, or there could be another partial government shutdown. President Trump again floating the idea of declaring a national emergency to build a wall, a move that's sure to face legal challenges. Dave?
Now, Rachel, it's big news this week when President Trump publicly disagreed with threat assessments made by U.S. intelligence, disputing them on ISIS, Iran, and North Korea. He told reporters yesterday they met and talked.
They said that they were totally misquoted and they were totally, it was taken out of context. So what I do is I'd suggest that you call them. They said it was fake news.
Though the testimony given by the heads of the CIA and the FBI and the Director of National Intelligence was public and was televised. The president's fellow Republicans in the Senate took a stand against his foreign policy, passing a bipartisan resolution opposing U.S. troop withdrawal from Syria and Afghanistan. Later this morning, the U.S. is expected to formally announce a withdrawal from a Cold War-era nuclear arms treaty.
The U.S. accusing Russia of violating the treaty. Russia's been denying that. In early December, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Moscow had 60 days to return to compliance or the U.S. was pulling out of the deal. That 60 days is up on Saturday.
Fox's Jill Nato. And starting today, for the first time, girls can join the Boy Scouts. This is Fox News.
6 degrees above with a wind chill of 5 below at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Temperatures on the rise today after several days of dangerously cold weather. Traffic block on eastbound 8094 this morning in Hammond, Indiana, following a crash involving 3 semi-tractor trailers that happened near Indianapolis Boulevard. Jim Telemonte with more in traffic in just a moment. Trains and mail will run in Illinois today, but not some local school buses. For instance, Schaumburg Township Elementary District 54 announcing they'll stay closed because the district's bus company is unable to start a large number of their buses. Metra Electric Service South Shore Line down for a third straight day. The Illinois Department of Public Health says at least 144 people made hospital emergency room visits during the cold wave. One person died due to cold-related injuries since Tuesday. Chicago police this morning touting a significant drop in murders last month. Department says there were 20 murders last month in the city, the lowest January total since 2010. However, this morning a man is dead, shot during a home invasion on Chicago's far south side in the 1800 block of East 78th. Candidate for Chicago Mayor Bill Daley is receiving support from Congressman Bobby Rush, but Cubs co-owner Laura Ricketts will back Susana Mendoza in the Chicago mayoral race. Blackhawks set to begin the second half tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. Bulls traveling to Charlotte tomorrow to tackle the Hornets. Fighting Illini welcome Nebraska to the State Farm Center tomorrow. The news service of Peloton. Live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Whether it's a monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and keep climbing the live leaderboard year-round. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
You've spent a lot of time and energy getting everything perfect with the planning and construction of your new property, but something's still missing. The interior and exterior of the structure turned out as planned, but there's still something you may not have even thought of until now. And it makes a big difference. The landscape. That's where AM Woodland Design makes the outdoors come alive to put that final detail on your build. Whether you're a commercial developer or custom home builder, AM Woodland Outdoor Design will put the finishing touches on your properties to make a complete and flawless presentation that will impress. As always, the expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process and provide quality service with integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Northern Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com, that's amwoodland.com, or call 847-224-2167.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock detects threats to your identity and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS to get 10% off your first year.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jim Durkin, founding partner of the Martech Group, a global market research firm based in Chicago since 1985 and a longtime customer of Signature Bank. When our business moved to our current Loop location, I recall seeing Mick O'Rourke and his two business partners, Brian Duncan and Kevin Bastuga, laying the foundation for Signature Bank. When Signature opened its doors in 2006, I was proud to move our accounts there and become a shareholder. Being in the consulting business, the Martech Group has a keen understanding of the value of relationships, trust, and attentiveness. Whether dealing with our U.S. practice or our international operations, Signature Bank is always there when we need them. That's why the Martech Group is proud to have Signature Bank as a valued business partner.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
6:07. Let's check the roads this morning in the AM 560 traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound 8094 traffic is stop and go from Torrance to Indianapolis Boulevard. All lanes have reopened after an earlier wreck. Westbound it's stop and go. I-65 to climb. Crash in the left lane. And also a heavy Kennedy to Calumet Avenue. Seeing delays on the Indiana Toll Road westbound. Portage Interchange to 94. Northbound I-65, 73rd Avenue to 53rd Avenue. I-80 westbound at stop and go 355 to Francis. Eastbound jammed Larkin to Briggs with a reported collision. Inbound Kennedy, 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, 35 minutes 390 to the Circle. Northbound I-55 is heavy 126 to 53 with a crash. Traffic, I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine today, not as cold. High today 20, partly cloudy. Temperatures at 18 for the low tonight, but they'll rise through the 20s. Drizzle, freezing on surfaces early tomorrow, high 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently snow, 5 at O'Hare, 6 along the lakefront. Official snow total about 1.7 inches at O'Hare this morning. Your next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The Democrat Socialist Party is the party of infanticide. That's not me doing it or even saying it. That's the governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, former pediatric neurologist. Incredibly.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And a member of, a couple members of Virginia's House of Delegates, but the sponsor of particular legislation to remove any impediments from killing a child that was born alive. Her name is Kathy Tran. Here's her back and forth on the floor of the House of Delegates discussing the implications of her legislation.
Yep, I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
Where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth, she has physical signs of that she is about to give a birth. Would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would make.
I understand that. I'm asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
Ew.
Ralph Northam, the governor, was asked about Representative Delegate Trans Bill, on a local radio show. Here's what he had to say.
So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
So these are healthy babies that are born, and they're keeping the baby comfortable while the mom decides whether or not she wants to kill it?
Not necessarily healthy, but
I'm just trying to wrap
no,
my
not
head
necessarily
around
healthy.
this.
Has a disability. Men, of course, shouldn't be. All of the platitudes that the Democrats use. Men shouldn't be involved.
No, men shouldn't tell women what they could do with their bodies.
Should men be involved in the raising of the children then, or no? Government's got that too, I suppose. Government shouldn't be involved.
Men do father children, I always tell my friends.
Government shouldn't be involved. Women's body. All of the anodyne arguments to obfuscate the gruesome reality that you're talking about infanticide. Currently, Virginia law requires 3 physicians to agree that a third trimester abortion is necessary because the mother's life or health would be jeopardized, and the or health is always the exception that basically blows the door wide open. The Repeal Act, Representative Delegate Trans Repeal Act, would have only required the mother and the physician be in agreement. So the mother's demanding it, and her physician would agree, disagree. Mm-hmm. And so that's what Northam is commenting on. Mike Pence has responded to this in writing, Vice President.
He wrote a nice op-ed.
In shocking testimony, the delegate admitted that even when it was obvious the child was about to be born, in the 40th week of pregnancy, even in the midst of active labor, the proposed law would allow for the child to be aborted so long as a single doctor approves. He makes mention, as the vice president, of the celebration a little bit north last week in New York, lighting up One World Trade Center in celebration for abortion on demand right up until birth. At the base of the same One World Trade Center that was bathed in pink last week to mark the passage of New York's law is the September 11th memorial. There, the names of all who died in the horrific terrorist attack 18 years ago are etched in stone, including the 11 unborn children we lost along with their expectant mothers. Did you know that? Our commitment to the inalienable right to life is as sure as the stone in which those names are etched, and our administration and our movement will continue to fight until our nation once again recognizes and celebrates the sanctity of all human life. You want to tell me again how the left is in the business of safe, legal, and rare? Does anybody believe that? Anybody? You want to tell me again about the left's humanity? No, I want to hear from somebody. I know I won't, because people don't like to be exposed as the ghouls they are, or they don't like to have to follow the implications of the positions they're taking. They just want to continue navel-gazing and repeating the same tired sophistry that you heard from Governor Northam. You think this is new? Or has this always been where this goes? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You familiar with Peter Singer? Peter Singer is a bioethics professor at Princeton. And he is the best example, most honest example of where utilitarianism goes, which is what, by the way, the left propagates, and many on the center right fall prey to it. The most amount of happiness for the most amount of people. That's how That's the mind's eye through which all decisions should be made, right? Is it? Here's Peter Singer on the topic. When the death of a disabled infant will lead to the birth of another infant with better prospects of a happy life, the total amount of happiness will be greater if the disabled infant is killed. The loss of the happy life for the first infant is outweighed by the gain of a happier life for the second. Therefore, if killing the hemophiliac infant has no adverse effect on others, it would, according to the total view, be right to kill him. Welcome to Philosophy 101. College campuses everywhere, and it's been like that for 30 years, unbeknownst to most everybody. I remember because I was exposed to it at Northwestern, great institution of higher learning. Yeah. Peter Singer, by the way, you think this is the end? And because now you've got Virginia politicians trying to do damage control. One of the co-sponsors has apologized. Dawn Adams, delegate Democrat from Richmond, she made a mistake. She didn't read Kathy Tran's bill that would allow abortion in the third trimester, so now she's off it because of the firestorm. You think they won't come back here? They're coming back. And they're not stopping there. Peter Singer, 1993. You know, these ideas have a basis somewhere. It's not just one loony left delegate in Virginia that comes up with this out of whole cloth. In 1993, Peter Singer suggested that no newborn should be considered a person until 30 days after birth. And that attending physicians should kill some disabled babies on the spot. 5 years later, he was appointed to the post he holds at Princeton University. Isn't it great? In 1979, Peter Singer, quote, "Human babies are not born self-aware or capable of grasping that they exist over time. They are not persons. The life of a newborn is of less value than the life of a pig, a dog, or chimpanzee," unquote. Quote, "The life of a newborn is of less value than the life of a pig, a dog, or a chimpanzee," unquote. You think Peter Singer's alone in that belief? He's utilitarian, just like those politicians we like to support here. The nice thing about Singer, though, is he's honest, where the politicians who pretend to have humanity, be concerned about every human being's dignity, are dishonest. And, of course, people buy the dishonesty. Here, Singer rejects birth as a relevant dividing line between person and non-person. He agrees with pro-life advocates that there is no ontologically significant difference between the fetus and the newborn. Thank you, Peter Singer. And then he goes on to take the position of the pro-abortion left to its logical conclusion. The liberals, quoting Singer, "The liberal search for a morally crucial dividing line between the newborn baby and the fetus has failed to yield any event or stage of development that can bear the weight of separating those with a right to life from those who lack such a right." So, baby born with Down syndrome in Virginia under this legislation. Mom says, "I took the chance that the baby wouldn't be born with Down syndrome. He has been born with Down syndrome. Doctor, kill him." And if the doctor agreed, that baby would be killed under this proposal in Virginia. And here's the Peter Singer piece of it, which you should share, is the philosophical underpinning of the pro-abort left for the last 4 decades. And obviously, though many who are pro-lifers know, Planned Parenthood, founded by Margaret Sanger, a eugenicist, ghoul, Hitlerian. It's all about somebody else, other human beings' existence is predicated on somebody else's happiness. That's utilitarianism, taken to its logical extreme. Thank you, Peter Singer, bioethics professor, for helping us get there. Remember Frank Stevens? I made fun of Ashton Kutcher yesterday. Yeah. I want to thank him today. ironically. Ashton Kutcher happened upon this video of Frank Stevens' testimony before a congressional committee a couple of years ago, imploring Congress to continue funding research for persons with Down syndrome, research into the disease, but also making the case that people with Down syndrome are people.
Right.
Since that's been lost in the culture of death that permeates the Western world, if somebody has a disability, kill them, which some people believe and act in accordance with. Kutcher posted Frank Stevens' incredible testimony on his Facebook page, and, it turns out Ashton Kutcher's sort of popular, so it got around fast.
Good.
So good for him. Frank Stevens, though, think about Frank Stevens when you're thinking about and what he has to say, which we'll play again here momentarily, and what he has to say, or think about him, his testimony, in the context of what has been proposed in Virginia, what has been enacted in New York, what is being said by Governor Spalding here in Illinois, that he wants Illinois to be the most pro-abortion state in the country. That's what he's saying. He uses euphemisms. I'm just laying it straight. Now, of course, Bruce Rauner already beat him to the punch. But I guess he could take the Peter Singer approach and say, until you can work outside the home, as long as you're eligible to stay on your parents' insurance, they can take you out if you become a source of unhappiness. How about that?
They won't move out of the basement. They won't get off their gaming devices. Doctor.
Frank Stevens, who's a Special Olympian and a gentleman with Down syndrome, testifying before Congress.
I don't feel I should have to justify my existence. But to those who question the value of people with Down syndrome, I would make 3 points. First, we are a medical gift to society, a blueprint for medical research into cancer, Alzheimer's, and immune system disorders. Second, we are an unusually powerful source of happiness. A Harvard-based study has discovered that people with Down syndrome, as well as their parents and siblings, are happier than society at large. Surely happiness is worth something. Finally, we are the canary in the eugenics coal mine. We are giving the world a chance to think about the ethics of choosing which humans get a chance at life. So we are helping to defeat cancer and Alzheimer's, and we make the world a happier place. Is there really no place for us in the world?
And how smart is Frank Stevens? Uses the utilitarian argument right against him. Jiu-jitsu move. I love it. So, for the shame culture in which we live and all your virtue-signaling neighbors and those in your social circles, let them know that voting for Democrats, particularly in places like Illinois or Virginia or New York or California, is voting for infanticide and nothing short of it. Do you have the guts to do that? It's the truth. You have the guts to tell the truth? Tony on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy Lamb. This is genocide. And here's one thing I wanted to point out that gets lost on these people that are interviewing these knuckleheads. Is it a fact that the liberal left says that abortion is part of a woman's reproductive rights? So let me ask this question. Once the baby is born out of the womb, how does that impact the reproductive rights? I don't get this. This is ridiculous. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Tony. Chris in Waukegan.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. All this reflects the eventual end game of where liberalism leads, and that's Nazi Germany. They had a policy before they actually started actively killing Jewish people and gypsies in the concentration camps. It was a philosophy called life unworthy of life, where they would euthanize mentally ill people in special institutions in Nazi Germany. Left-wing thought always travels down this very scary path. And listen to this. The three groups of people that were most influenced by Nazi thought before the Nazis took over were the journalists, the educators, and the entertainers. Isn't it funny how life or history repeats itself? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Megan in Evanston.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Great show. Just 3 points. Number one, where's the Catholic Church? Why are they not speaking out on that? Number two, of course men are for this because they abdicate the responsibility of being a father. And four, it's all about power. Thanks, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Megan. Tom in Blue Island.
Morning, Dan and Amy. Been waiting for this one. On the file of you can't make this stuff up, the same day this lady, Kathy Tran, who's a mother of four, proposed this, she proposed a bill to protect a caterpillar. Incredible stuff. And to the anti-mothers out there with their war faces on, screaming, "My body, my choice," you've been given the most important job in the history of mankind, and you're mucking it up. Have a good day, you guys.
Not Amy. Thanks, Tom.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
We've all been there, looking for a parking spot when it's freezing and icy outside. The icy pavement of this pothole-filled parking lot is a nightmare. Oh, there's a spot. Wait, oh no, you're sliding. Watch out for that pothole. Your tire just blew out. The kids are crying and you're never coming back here again. Business owners and property managers, avoid frustrating your customers with a less than perfect parking lot. Pavement Solutions can offer you a safer and longer lasting pothole repair with permanent cold mix asphalt. It's an immediate solution and 90% of potholes patched will never need to be repaired again. Call Pavement Solutions today and learn how they can fix your lot in a day without closing it. In fact, as customers drive over the patch, it gets stronger. Don't put your customers or your business at risk with annoying potholes. Give your customers the experience they deserve. Call Pavement Solutions for a free quote. 815-675-0696. 815-675-0696.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Illinois Army National Guard. Aired by the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
Raj Shah, host of Secure Retirement Radio.
I spoke to one person and, I asked him a simple question is, what do you want to do with your retirement? And he said, I want to protect it. Because if it does go down and not come back, do you have enough time in the market to recover those losses?
Tune in for Secure Retirement Radio with Raj Shah, Chicago's safe money strategist. Sunday mornings at 7 here on AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, hello. Lincoln here. These days, you just can't believe everything you read on the internet. Fact is, today we find ourselves fighting a cybersecurity war. So it's important you remember online safety measure tips available at ready.illinois.gov. With malware for none and cyber protection for all, this is your humble servant, Abraham Lincoln.
Sponsored by IEMA.
The most popular days to get engaged are Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day. And guys, finding the perfect wedding venue can be harder to figure out than the color and quality of the perfect diamond. With love in the air, Avante Banquets is here to help you plan the wedding of your dreams for the party of a lifetime at a price right for you. Avante Banquets is part of the family-owned Chicago Prime Restaurants, with a picturesque location opened just last year near Barrington, providing fine American dining and a timeless experience. Avante is an exceptional space for your wedding or corporate events and fundraisers, for an intimate gathering or parties of 500 or more. The calendar is filling up, so secure your date today at AvanteBanquets.com. That's AVANTE Banquets.com. With wedding packages starting at just $39 a person. Experience exceptional hospitality with the Calcunos family at Avante Banquets, because classic never goes out of style. AvanteBanquets.com. AvanteBanquets.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Remember Amy that she's a golfer. She was at the Waste Management Tour in Phoenix.
Phoenix Open with Gary Woodland.
Yeah, and she has a better stroke than you, no offense, but she did sink a 12-foot putt.
She's definitely a better
putter. She got out of the trap in one shot.
I can hit the ball farther, I think, but she's definitely a better putter. There's just no question about it. I'd love to play with her. Gary Woodland was lucky.
Yeah, she's awesome. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we
we
have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we have a Bear who might be headed to the Hall of Fame. I mean, a Bear fan who might be headed to the Hall of Fame. Don Wachter joins us at 6:36 to explain.
But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Temps rising today. That's good news following several days of dangerous cold. But if your commuter's on 80-94 this morning, it's pretty tough. Jim Telemonte has more on a massive accident involving several semi-tractor trailers that has gummed up the works this morning at Indianapolis Boulevard. And there is presidential news this morning. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker is announcing his 2020 run for president, picking the first day of Black History Month to launch his campaign. The union representing Denver's teachers says overnight it has rejected the latest contract offer made by Denver Public Schools lead negotiator Rob Gould.
They didn't bring a proposal tonight. They brought a small IOU. We just want to apologize to you all for inviting you tonight and wasting your time.
DPS offered about $3 million more toward teacher salaries by cutting jobs at the central office. President Trump says Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will soon be begging for a border wall.
If there's no wall, it doesn't work. She's just playing games. So if there's no wall, it doesn't work.
At a White House photo op yesterday, the president repeated his call for border wall funding, but Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is insisting that there will be no money for border security for a wall in the bill aimed at fully funding the federal government.
There's not going to be any wall money in the legislation.
A short-term spending extension expires February 15. Just a note to families in Schaumburg Township Elementary School District 54. Your school will remain closed for a third straight day. The district's bus company unable to start a large number of buses this morning. Chicago police are touting a significant drop in the murder total. Only 20 murders, they say, last month in the city, the lowest since 2010. However, February is off to a tough start. A man is dead after being shot during a home invasion on Chicago's South Side in the 1800 block of East 78th Street. And Chicago police will soon be under court oversight. Federal Judge Robert Dow approving a long-awaited consent decree aimed at reforming the police department. It calls for changes to be implemented over the next 5 years. Chicago Police Union leadership and rank and file called the approval a dark day for Chicago policing. Blackhawks and Sabres on the docket for tonight in Buffalo. Bulls traveling to Charlotte. They'll tackle the Hornets tomorrow. The news service of Peloton. Live studio classes in the comfort of your own home. Winter or summer, rain or shine, with a Peloton bike, it's always the perfect weather to sweat. And with up to 14 live rides a day and over 10,000 more on demand, nothing will get between you and your workout. Learn more about the Peloton bike at onepeloton.com or visit your local showroom. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hey, listen. Did you hear that? That's the sound of silence, the absent sound of your loved one's laugh, the phone that never rings, the void left because you convinced yourself their addiction was under control. Don't let the shame of addiction prevent you from addressing their disease. USA Addiction knows that the first step is the hardest. That's why they help guide you through the journey to recover with care and compassion. Their nationally certified family recovery coaches lead you every step of the way, from a free initial conversation to planning an intervention to finding the best facility that will save your loved one's life. Go to freeaddictionbook.com and enter your email to their confidential portal. You'll receive their free guide to family addiction and intervention and free consultation. And that's freeaddictionbook.com for a real solution to prevent that heartache. Now is the time to take action. USA Addiction, helping Americans one step at a time.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
The quivers, the shivers, goosebumps. That's what our customers say before 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning repairs their furnace. Call us. We'll fix it right, stand by our work, and give you our straightforward pricing, which means no hourly charges. How's that for goosebumps? Right now, get big savings on any heating repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
6:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound 8094 is once again closed. Calumet Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard due to a crash. Traffic's at a standstill from Bishop Ford Freeway. Westbound, it's bumper to bumper I-65 to the state line. Eden, inbound, 20 minutes Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, crash at Austin. Eisenhower, 390 to the Burns Circle, it's 39 minutes. Outbound, it's 33. Northbound I-55, we see delays 126 to 53 with a crash in the left lane. And it's 50 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 33 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford, 25. Tollways have delays. It's traffic, I'm Jim Talamonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Not as cold today. Clouds and sunshine, a high near 20. Partly cloudy with rising temperatures overnight, low 18. Drizzle, watch out for some freezing drizzle, especially when it's cloudy throughout the day. High 43, tomorrow night 37. Currently 5 above and some light snow showers, 6 above at O'Hare and along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com. Today's the day. Today is the day that Bearman, Don Bearman Wachter from Plainfield, finds out if he is headed to immortality. Canton, Ohio, the NFL Hall of Fame. It's incredible. Well, Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fans within the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Fame.
That's a huge honor. And anybody who's ever watched a Bears game or if you've had season tickets, you know who this guy is. He's the one, he sits in the end zone seats, and he's got a real bear on top of his head and just an elaborate outfit. But he's so dedicated, and he's so good at what he does that I'm pulling for him.
He's one of 3 finalists. He's up against...
Who? Wait.
He's up against a high school teacher from Beaver, Pennsylvania. Steelers season ticket holder for 18 years.
What's his name? Loser. Just kidding.
His name is Rick Holman. And a Dolphins fan named Roger Avila, Miami. He goes by Dolphin Maniac. He's held his seats for 24 years. So just
awesome.
In terms of longevity of season ticket holding,
yeah,
the Bearman has both of them beat.
How many years?
Almost combined. He goes back to 85.
Nice.
That's 33 years. For more on this, let's get a sense of the nerves as he's waiting for the knock on the door, the call from Roger Goodell. We're pleased to be joined by Don Bearman Wachter. Don, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan and Amy, for having me on.
That's
my signature growl.
That's how you know it's him. That's when we're not putting you on. Only Don could do that. So, Don, how you feeling today? Nervous?
Oh, you bet, guys. Yeah, I didn't sleep too well last night. Just a lot of anticipation here. The next 2 hours, I'm going to know it. I'm going to know whether I made it. I mean, I got a good feeling, but still, there's always a little bit of nervousness.
Was there a question and answer portion to this? Did they sit you down and ask you about, how you've evolved into this Bear fan?
Oh yeah, they came to my house in Plainfield in early December, did a full film interview and a lot of questions and so forth. So yeah, I mean then I had to send in like a video and so forth. But the Bears are the ones that kind of nominated me back in October to Ford for them when Ford went to the Bears and asked, give us a couple ultimate fans you have for this new Ford Hall of Fans contest, and I definitely was the first one on the list. So yeah, it's a very thorough process.
Was there a Wonderlook testing or any other psychological testing that you had to go through?
Well, thank God there was.
So explain your.
Even though I have a bachelor's and a master's degree, so in forestry. So
yeah,
I think I might be able to do pretty well in that.
And how much of your annual income now goes to your season tickets for the Bears?
Well, it's not just season tickets. Yeah, I think I spend between $5,000 to $8,000. I also collect Bears memorabilia. I've been doing that for the last 20 years, so that also. So.
Well, how did you become a Bears fan? Did you grow up in Plainfield or in Chicago?
Well, the Chicago region, yeah. I grew up in Lake County, Indiana, actually, so only 45 miles from downtown, so straight south. So, and basically all the media was Bears. There was nothing else, so that naturally I became a Bears fan. So my older brother really got into him.
Wait a second. A Hoosier is going to go in as the Bear man?
Well
no. How long have you lived in Plainfield?
Since 2002. So
okay.
Yeah, but I've been, I lived before that I was in countryside for about 6 years. So, but yeah, I mean, the Indiana area it's heavily Northwest Indiana is heavily Bear fans.
Of course. Now, why number 46 Doug Plank as the jersey of choice? Why not say a Bob Avellini, a Matsui?
Well, I was always big in the defense side of the Bears, and Bears, even the 70s, early 70s, they were not a good team. And I don't know if you know that the offense was terrible, unfortunately. But the defense still, teams always said when they came in and played the Bears, I mean, they felt it for the next couple of days, how bad, how hard-hitting that. And Doug just epitomized that defense. He was 12th round draft pick. He made the team as a rookie. He started as a rookie. He set a rookie record for tackles for the Bears that Brian Urlacher, he only beat by 2, so as in his rookie season. So Doug just was just a ferocious hitter. He had intensity. He had heart. He was all about how hard he could hit you, leaving never leaving anybody standing after the play. He just really stood out for me.
He wouldn't even be allowed.
Known as a dirty hitter.
Yeah.
Also, he was called a hitman. With him and Gary Fenwick were called the hitmen.
He wouldn't even be allowed on the field today in the no tackle NFL.
Right. Yeah. No. He kind of admits a lot of the stuff he did. Definitely would get a flag. So I don't. He said he probably could play too well today's rules.
So, Don, how did you come up with that outfit? And are there ever days where it's hard? I mean, you put the paint on your face. You got, because I've seen you out there, and when it's 100 degrees out on the field, then I've also seen you when it's 30 below.
Right. Well, maybe coming up with the outfit, I always wanted to do something more extravagant through the years. I did face paint and a helmet, for some years, then a face paint with colored wigs. Punk wigs, blue or orange. Then I just wanted to. I really love the Bear logo, the Growling Bear logo, and I actually seen a fan. This is like in 96, 95, 6. I seen a fan in the section over from me. I was in section 36 in Old Soldier Field, who actually was wearing like a bearskin rug over himself, and he really didn't have anything to go with it. But I said, that's interesting. And I actually went to a costume shop trying to see if they had a growling bear, a menacing bear I could wear over my head, and all they had was the cutesy bears that were smiling. And that didn't work at all. That didn't appeal to me. So I went to a taxidermist in Palatine, and I called them up. They said, "Yeah, we got a small black bear, what they call bearskin rug." And I went there, looked at it, and got a good price for it. But I was too embarrassed to tell the taxidermist, hey, you think I could cut the head off and wear it on my head? I just bought it, and a friend of mine, the head is mounted on plywood, so we cut the wood off and scooped out the styrofoam, and I put a strap on it, and by God, it worked. And I debuted it in November of '96 season. I just went from there. I gradually added to fur, fake fur, and shoulder pads, and claws, and feet, feet claws. So, as far as this costume works very well. Not in maybe 21 below, but like we had here, but works very well. December, November are my favorite months. In the 40s and 50 degrees, 30s. But September, I can have a little bit of problems there, as far as keeping hydrated. It's a bear to wear.
Hey.
Now, all of those bear parts, none of those are from conflict bears. Those are all street legal, I presume.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. I just don't want any legal problems. All right. So, how does the selection happen today? I mean, how are they tabulating the votes? Is this just like Roger Goodell picking a name out of a hat? How does it work?
Well, no, actually, this process was a 3-part process, where the voting, which went through a whole month here, ended last Sunday. As far as people voting for you, that was 1/3 of what they call the scoring system for this. So, whoever got the most votes was 1 through 10 got let's say a 10, and then 1/3 of the I'm basically judged 1/3 by a panel from Ford, what they call my quote ultimate fandom. Not sure exactly
the ultimate fandom quotient.
I'm scaled
yes.
1 through 10 by a panel from Ford. Then I'm also scaled 1 through 10 by a panel from the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then again, the last 1 through 10 is the vote. So they add all that up, and whoever has the highest score is going to be the winner. And again, David Baker is going to be knocking hopefully on my door here in the next hour and a half with a film crew and give me the great news.
So you're dressed and ready to go, right?
Well, actually, they told me, if you get this, I'm a little bit disappointed not to wear the bear costume. I guess we have to go to a Hall of Fame luncheon here with the suit and tie affair right after this here at 11 o'clock. So no, I'll be wearing a jersey and jeans, but bear stuff. But unfortunately, no bear man today being filmed.
Now, if you don't have to tell me, you don't have to answer this question if you feel it might implicate you. You can certainly invoke your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. But with respect to the voting, did you enlist some of the machine potentates in Chicago to help you with the voting portion of the process?
Maybe, I don't know. Some of my friends said, it's Chicago way. They would post on my Facebook, let's vote early, vote often. So
how did you
I actually had a campaign manager for this, Timmy from the Bus, he's called. He's a famous tailgater here in Chicago, and he helped tremendously with videos
Timmy
of me.
He's very good.
And also, we reached out to probably 50 Bear Facebook fan clubs, across the nation.
Yeah.
You have to. Because I'm looking at your competition right now, and I think you've got this locked in.
I mean, thank you very much. I mean, I've been getting that from a lot of people. I mean, they're kind of swelling my head, but I'm constantly getting you got this. I guess because a big thing is because they show me as Bear Man, and where the other two guys. The Dolphin guy does have a costume, but he just not really presented that way.
Yeah, they're just
it's all about the presentation.
They're just civilians. Yeah, they're just civilians. I mean, you've been on the field. You've carried the Bear Nation flag.
Right.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I would like to say I am the most well-known of these three across the country. So just from the TV appearances, and Sunday night football, the exposure I'm getting. So, I've been doing this for 22 years also,
Yeah, and look, you put in your time, and I'm sure it's a lonely
Right.
existence. Here's the question. Is Doug Plank going to give your introduction when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame? Have you asked?
We don't know what Ford hasn't been saying any plans. I think I got a good feeling because I've been, in contact with him. He made promotional videos. He even told me he wants to come and redo the knocking on my door like Brian Urlacher did next time he's in Chicago. But I got a feeling, if there is an induction presentation, Doug definitely would do it. He'd fly in from Phoenix with no problem. We have a close relationship, me and Doug.
That's great.
He loves that. He always says, "Well, Don, the Bear Man's my only fan." He says, "My only famous fan left."
That would be as great a moment as Mean Joe Green throwing his jersey to that kid in the Coke commercial.
Right.
Having Doug, that's a great fan moment. Bear Man, a.k.a. Don Wachter from Plainfield, he is waiting for the knock on the door that is going to happen in the next couple of hours. Don, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Let's
enjoy
go
your
Bear
time.
Nation.
Yeah, and just know we're all pulling for you, so go get them.
Thank you. The Chicago media has been great to me these last 3 weeks. I've been amazed how great they have been, and talking me up and so forth. That is just special.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Good luck, man.
Bear Man joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Bears 31 to -7.
Yeah, really, -7.
God, Stick, you'll find a way.
Bears.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The White House says a U.S.-China trade deal may be in jeopardy. Electrolux investing in Tennessee, mortgage interest rates edging just a little higher. Those stories next.
Hi, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist for the Oxford Club. Just for a moment, I'd like you to picture the perfect stock. No doubt it would have hundreds of billions in revenue, more than IBM, Facebook, and Google. It would probably be a leader in cutting-edge technology like smartphones and robotics. It would be on the verge of dozens of blockbuster announcements. But most of all, it would be ultra cheap, trading at less than $3 a share. Now, it may seem crazy that such a stock exists, but it does. It's a cutting-edge tech company that has made deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars with Nokia, Microsoft, and Cisco, and a $29.2 billion deal with Apple. It's set to create 50,000 new jobs right here in America, and Donald Trump even calls it the eighth wonder of the world. Yet you've likely never even heard of the stock. Why? Because it trades under a secret name. To find out why the secret $3 stock can help you retire, simply go to OneStockRetirement.com. That's OneStockRetirement.com.
President Trump says he hopes negotiators can work out a new trade deal before the March 2nd deadline, but he's not counting on it, he says. The president says if new tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese exports to the United States are to be avoided, China will have to make major concessions or wait until the president can meet personally with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Swedish appliance maker Electrolux investing $250 million in a new facility in Tennessee. However, Electrolux is ceasing production at its factory in Memphis. Electrolux says part of the decision-making is based on tariffs on its products. Long-term mortgage interest rates rising slightly after several weeks of declines. The average rate on 30-year fixed-rate mortgages now 4.46%. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
If you've considered a MyPillow but procrastinated, the MyPillow 4-pack offer is still available. That's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the price of 1 premium MyPillow. They're amazing pillows, so don't procrastinate. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. They're washable, dryable, and have a money-back offer. And you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper. Your mattress will feel brand new and improved for a lot less than a new mattress. Or get those great pet beds that my dog Bunky loves. Just use the promo code Amy for the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on mattress toppers, pet beds, and even the Giza cotton sheets. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Let's face it, everyone loves to shop. From my experience of meeting a famous politician in the Hermes store in Paris,
to my unforgettable experience test driving my first 600 horsepower car, in which I said, I'll take it before it even hit 60 miles an hour.
we're pretty sure everyone has at least one unforgettable shopping experience. Hello, we are Carrie and
Ken,
founders of Income Store. Have you ever considered shopping for your next income? And we don't mean your next job. Did you know that you can walk into Income Store's website through a door on the left or a door on the right?
if you're just starting out or you simply have more time than money, you're going to enter our website on the left. If you've got more money than time, then definitely the right door is for you.
If you're looking to increase revenue in your home or business and would like to create a brand new, greatest shopping memory, all you have to do is change where you shop. Check out one of the two doors at incomestore.com.
That's incomestore.com.
Let me ask you something. What would an extra income stream mean to you every month? How would that change things for you? More vacation time? Could you secure your retirement, spend more time with your family? Well, Online Trading Academy is a leader in training and investment education. Learn about how money is really made in the financial markets and how investing in them could be your pathway to achieving financial freedom. They will help you learn skills designed to be mastered and applied to generate monthly cash flow. At Online Trading Academy, thousands of people just like you have discovered an education path designed to allow them to reinvent themselves and take control of their finances. I'm so impressed with Online Trading Academy that I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Just call 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-TRADE. Get 2 free passes to their next class so you can check this all out. This is a limited opportunity and seats go quickly, so call 888-984-TRADE or visit them online at tradingacademy.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
If you maintain an industrial plant, you know your dust collection systems are a vital part of the operation of your plant. Without them, things can get dusty quick. And when your dust collection system malfunctions, the downtime can cost your plant money. Time to call the professionals at Vans Industrial for help.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. At Vans, we work with many different types and sizes of dust collectors, from 1,000 CFM to 100,000 CFM. If your system needs housing repair, tube sheet, pulse valves, ductwork, or collection hoods, give us a call. Schedule an inspection today to keep things running smoothly and avoid costly downtime. And when you're ready for a new dust collector, we can design your system from the collection hoods to the stack for plants of all size applications.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Yet another Democrat enters the 2020 race. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I'm Cory Booker, and I'm running for President of the United States of America.
And he joins several other senators who want to be in the White House. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave Booker, a former mayor of Newark, New Jersey, announced his candidacy in an online video, highlighting his family's struggle to move into a predominantly white neighborhood with good public schools, saying, "Together, America, we will rise."
It is not a matter of can we. It's a matter of do we have the collective will, the American will. I believe we do.
Booker, part of an expanding pool of Democrats seeking the party's presidential nomination. Fellow Senator Kamala Harris jumped in the race 2 weeks ago. Dave?
Wait till President Trump told the New York Times he doesn't think he can get along with the House Speaker anymore. This after he said to reporters at the White House,
Nancy Pelosi will be begging for a wall. She'll be begging for a wall. She will say, Mr. President, please, please give us a wall.
Pelosi repeated again yesterday the House will not fund a wall. The president says if a bipartisan group of lawmakers don't give him the money and a compromise by a deadline in 2 weeks, he could declare a national emergency and find other ways to fund it. The U.S. is expected to make it official this morning, a withdrawal from the Cold War-era nuclear arms treaty with Russia. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, Russia accusing the Trump administration of being unwilling to listen or negotiate, saying it regrets the apparently imminent American withdrawal from the intermediate-range nuclear forces treaty signed by President Reagan in 1987. The U.S. alleges that a new Russian missile violates the terms of the treaty. Russia says it doesn't, and President Putin has warned there could be a new arms race if the accord collapses. Dave?
Simon, it is frigid again in the northern U.S. Feels like 40 below zero in Minnesota, but it's above zero in Chicago, 5 degrees. The deep freeze starting to thaw. It'll be in the 50s there Monday. This is Fox News.
5 above with a wind chill of 5 below. It's 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer, and good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Temps are rising today in Chicago following several days of dangerously cold weather. Traffic blocked on eastbound 8094 this morning in Hammond, Indiana, following a crash involving 3 semi-tractor trailers. There have been word that it's beginning to clear. No word of injuries, and Jim Talamonte has the very latest on that story in just a moment. Local emergency and management officials in Chicago discussing the city's ongoing efforts to help residents manage the after effects of the Arctic chill, including the commissioner of the Department of Water Management, Randy Connor, saying they're stepping up their efforts, and they also want you to keep your water running for a few more days.
It currently has more than 600 employees on the street, and we have the ability to increase that number as weather conditions change. We are doubling crews so workers can take breaks to warm up while others take over to keep the repairs moving along.
Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel says all agencies are working in a coordinated and collaborative effort through the weekend. Trains and mail are running on time in Illinois, except for some of the Metro Electric service and South Shore lines. They're down for a third straight day, and Amtrak is up and running, as is the post office. Chicago police are touting a significant drop in murders last month. The department says there were 20 murders last month in the city, the lowest total since January of 2010. Candidate for Chicago Mayor Bill Daley is receiving backing from Congressman Bobby Rush today. Meantime, Cubs co-owner Laura Ricketts is backing Susana Mendoza in the Chicago mayoral race. After trimming some majors last year, Western Illinois University surging to the front of the line to add new programs, including a new psychology major approved yesterday. Blackhawks and Buffalo Sabres on the docket tonight. Fighting Illini welcome Nebraska to the State Farm Center tomorrow. The news service of Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard, and limitations apply. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Some job recruitment sites overload your inbox with resumes. Glassdoor knows not just any will do. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. In fact, Glassdoor hires are 30% more likely to stay with your company longer. And Glassdoor can help you find that perfect candidate in half the resumes. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock detects threats to your identity, and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS to get 10% off your first year.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices, as low as $220 per eye with an absolutely free consultation. Text START to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use advanced FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK for as low as $220 per eye. Text START to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's START to 350-350.
Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
7:07 and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center with Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound 8094 remains closed. Calumet Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard due to a wreck involving 3 semis. Traffic's at a standstill starting on the southbound tri-state around the 163rd Street toll. Westbound 8094, it's heavy from I-65 to the state line. Farther east, westbound 94 is shut down from 35 and 20 to Johnson Road due to collisions. Edens is 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Kennedy, 38 minutes O'Hare to downtown. On Eisenhower, 46 minutes 390 to Circle. Stevenson, 50 minutes 355 to the drive. Ryan is 25 minutes 95 to downtown. Tollways are heavy, including the eastbound Reagan tollway starting around 25. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, intervals of clouds and sun, not as cold, the high 20. Partly cloudy, rising temperatures tonight, low 18. Drizzle tomorrow, freezing early. It'll be cloudy and milder, the high at 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
5 above at O'Hare, 6 above along the lakefront. Wind chills still in the single negative digits this morning. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The field of Democrat candidates, Democrat socialist candidates in particular, for president continues to widen as anticipated. Cory Booker and T-Bone announcing their candidacy this morning.
Yeah, see if you're buying any of this.
I believe that we can build a country where no one is forgotten, no one is left behind, where parents can put food on the table, where there are good-paying jobs with good benefits in every neighborhood, where our criminal justice system keeps us safe instead of shuffling more children into cages and coffins, where we see the faces of our leaders on television and feel pride, not shame. It is not a matter of can we. It's a matter of do we have the collective will, the American will. I believe we do.
Are those the pickle bucket guys behind him?
The Bucket Boys outside of Wrigley and the Cell?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, Guaranteed Rate. Excuse me.
G-Rate, G-Spot.
G-Spot.
So Cory Booker's in. How exciting.
No, then I think he goes, I am Cory Booker, and I am running for president.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're going to hear from the actual president on Tuesday night to say the union address rescheduled. Pelosi telling him not getting any funding for border security.
They're having a negotiation over it in there. There's not going to be any wall money.
Well, that's a problem for the president who says no wall money, no deal.
No, because if there's no wall, it doesn't work. She's just playing games. So if there's no wall, it doesn't work.
So how does this get resolved? For more on these topics and Howard Schultz, and also what it's like to be a barista if Howard Schultz is running for president. They're getting instruction on how to handle Howard Schultz questions from Starbucks customers. Oh, yeah. We're pleased to be joined by Bret Baier, of course, host of Fox News Special Report, 5 p.m. Chicago time during the week. His new book, 3 Days in Moscow, Ronald Reagan and the Fall of the Soviet Empire. Bret, thanks for joining us again. And we're happy to hear you and your family are in good health after that little car accident scare.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we were blessed. We could have been a lot worse. So everybody's on the mend.
All right, very good. No serious injuries. Everybody's good.
Yeah, well, my wife had a concussion, so she's still bouncing back from that. My son had 14 stitches.
Ooh.
He's okay, and then my 8-year-old lost a tooth, but he's a hockey player, and he thinks it's cool.
And plus, he gets $1 for that if he puts it under the pillow, right?
Yeah, he looks like Ovechkin now.
I mean,
He looks like Ovechkin.
That's horrifying. I did not know it was that's severe. Did your car? Do you know how it happened? It was just an icy road, and your car flipped over.
Oh yeah, I know how it happened. I was driving. I tried to stop at a stop sign about 300 yards from the stop sign. It was pure ice. Montana's not a big salt the roads or plow the roads kind of place, and so it was just solid ice, and we slid for 300 yards through the stop sign into the intersection, and then got T-boned by a pickup truck.
Oh, geez.
Flipped around and then went into a ditch, and the car flipped over. So it's I'd like not to remember it, but everybody is good, and fortunately the guy in the truck was fine. So and there was a good Samaritan who helped us out. So 1, always wear your seatbelts. 2, if you see somebody in trouble, stop. This guy, Zach Black, was awesome.
Okay,
and was everybody in
great.
your car wearing their seatbelts?
Everybody except my son, who got the 14 stitches. So he did not put his seatbelt on, and he flew across the back of the car when we flipped over.
See, I have a son, too, that never puts his seatbelt on, and I'm going to tell him this story. So
there you
go. Because
No,
it's
I will.
a
It's
real learning
ridiculous.
lesson. Even if you're in an Uber in the
Right.
back seat, especially with winter weather, just do it. It's so silly not to.
Well, pretty soon, with the elimination of fossil fuels, we're all going to be back to bicycles anyway, so that'll obviate all of this business. All right. Well, again, glad that your family is good and on the mend, and thankful for that Good Samaritan, as you mentioned. But wanted to get to some of the politics of this. So the field shaping up. The Democrats are intent on getting these debates started in just a few months, and so it's sort of right now the window to get in or forever hold your peace for candidates, and thus the concern about an independent candidacy of Howard Schultz derailing all of the enthusiasm for the 24 candidates that are going to enter on the Dem side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty still blown away by the reaction to Howard Schultz. He's not even in yet. I've seen him speak. He's really not that enthusiastic a speaker. He could use a little caffeine in the speech, but he's done well in the Q&A, talking to people. And just by the thought of him getting in the race, the reaction has been overwhelming on the Democratic side that, you got to stop him. We're going to boycott Starbucks if it happens. And I think it's really interesting. I mean, obviously they sense a real threat there. Michael Bloomberg even putting out the stats that he had studied an independent run, and it would embolden or help President Trump for re-election.
Wow. And so how many do you think that we're going to have in total? I mean, we have Cory Booker today announcing his candidacy. I imagine Joe Biden soon and possibly Hillary Clinton. What are you hearing inside the bubble there in D.C.?
No Hillary.
No, I think Hillary Clinton's out. John Podesta said she's not going to run. I believe him. I think the over-under is 20, actually. 20 candidates. You remember we had 17 in the GOP primary in 2015. Our debate started that year in August. This time they'll start in June of this year. And I think there's going to be probably 20, maybe 18 candidates. You've still got a bunch of candidates who are out there looking at it. Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota, and let alone the candidates that we're not even talking about, the South Bend mayor. You've got
Can you
Mitch
pronounce his
Landrieu
name?
from Louisiana. Yeah, he's got an exploratory committee. Oh, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, right? Buttigieg.
Yeah.
He's easy on a bumper sticker.
Yeah. Well,
Just rolls right off the tongue, right,
I
Brett?
don't know. In Illinois, we elected a Blagojevich, so you never know. Here's the thing.
That would be a good ticket. That'd be a good ticket.
Blagojevich and Buttigieg.
Buttigieg and Blagojevich.
Can I buy a vowel?
It sings. Is anybody in the Dem field going to run to sort of the center left, or is it all going to be a race to see who's going to make government the biggest and most expensive?
Well, so already the first candidate in was John Delaney, former congressman from Maryland, who's a multimillionaire businessman. He's a kind of a centrist guy. He's spent $1 million already in Iowa. He's been in New Hampshire a bunch. He's just not getting a lot of traction. The power on the party is on the left, on the progressive side. I think you're going to get John Hickenlooper, the governor of Colorado. He'll probably get in a more of a moderate place. But for the most part, it'll be a battle to the left. And you're already seeing it play out with Medicare for all and what the definition of that is and how much does it cost, and the Green New Deal and how much does that cost and what does it do.
And how big the wealth tax is that you want to impose.
Right.
So we have one government shutdown, the longest in U.S. history. We know that. A second one is looming. What do you think President Trump should do? I mean, Nancy Pelosi said yesterday, no funding is going to go toward building that wall. Should he declare a national emergency and get this whole thing over with?
It's frustrating to cover because in that same press conference, and obviously that soundbite from Nancy Pelosi was picked up by everybody. No, there's zero funding for the wall in this compromise. But then she was further pressed, are you in favor of increased barriers along the border? Yes, I am. So strengthening the fencing? Yes, you can strengthen the fencing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to call a wall, and what do you want to call barrier, and what do you want to call fencing? If the president is back of the negotiations as far as the semantics, I think that they can get a deal. But if it's left up to Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump, I think you're going to be battling over what is a wall.
Well, right, and you had two House Democrats, Nita Lowey and Lucille Ayard, who basically seemed to contradict Nancy Pelosi, at least her top-line pronouncement that you mentioned, no border wall funding. They were talking sort of in generic terms about the broad outlines of a deal. And so if Trump gets, I don't know, a few $1 billion for Normandy fencing and he just calls that a wall, are we done here? Do we get a deal before Tuesday night?
Yes, I think it's still possible. That's where they're headed. I think Democrats will ask for some other things, but I think it's possible to get a deal. I think that shutdown did one thing. It made people think we really don't like shutdowns, and on both sides, because Democrats are hearing from their constituents saying this is ridiculous. Just get some funding for a wall. Just give them something. And then Republicans were saying, you guys are idiots. You know, like, why are we shutting down the government? What was the upside? So I think they're going to do everything they can to avoid a shutdown this time.
Is there any early indication about the contents of Trump's State of the Union address on Tuesday night? Is it going to be your typical braggadocious snore, or is he going to do anything interesting?
We don't know the content yet, but, you know, with Donald Trump, I would bet interesting is where they lean. There'll be more personal stories, I think, like you saw last time, where, you know, the guy with the crutch who made it across to South Korea from the north.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the First Lady's area. I think, it'll be something, but the fascinating juxtaposition of Nancy Pelosi now behind his left shoulder, reacting or not reacting to everything he says is going to be interesting theater anyway.
All right. He is Bret Baier, Fox News anchor, special report, 5 p.m. weekdays, Chicago time, and the book, 3 Days in Moscow, Ronald Reagan and the Fall of the Soviet Empire. Bret, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
We're so glad you guys are safe. And Bret joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
National competition for your business is eating away at your customer base faster than you can keep up. It's as if they have a back room of digital marketing minions swallowing your customers one by one. And it's not a pretty sight. What if you could beat them with your own minions? The digital marketing experts of Salem Surround make it happen. Surrounding potential customers with your message wherever they engage, search, surf, socialize, or review. Take the mystery of digital marketing out of your busy schedule. Salem Surround delivers the customers so you can run your business, making every digital dollar count towards sales success. When you're ready to reach an endless number of customers and achieve total market penetration for increased ROI, get in touch with Salem Surround. You'll get a free analysis of your digital marketing effectiveness and suggested methods that could dramatically increase your sales. Learn more by logging on to surroundchicago.com. Surroundchicago.com, connecting you with new customers.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-500-5588. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-500-5588 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-500-5588 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-500-5588.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free, no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-600-9519. That's 1-800-600-9519. 1-800-600-9519.
Let me ask you something. What would an extra income stream mean to you every month? How would that change things for you? More vacation time? Could you secure your retirement, spend more time with your family? Well, Online Trading Academy is a leader in training and investment education. Learn about how money is really made in the financial markets and how investing in them could be your pathway to achieving financial freedom. They will help you learn skills designed to be mastered and applied to generate monthly cash flow. At Online Trading Academy, thousands of people just like you have discovered an education path designed to allow them to reinvent themselves and take control of their finances. I'm so impressed with Online Trading Academy that I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Just call 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-TRADE. Get 2 free passes to their next class so you can check this all out. This is a limited opportunity and seats go quickly, so call 888-984-TRADE or visit them online at tradingacademy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I should have mentioned this to Brett Baer. Did you see this? And I should have mentioned this to Don Wachter, too.
What?
Bearman.
Oh, and by the way, if he does win, it'll be breaking news and we'll bring it to you.
Absolutely. We're
'Cause
waiting. He's on the clock. Or he should
He's
be
just sitting by the door in his hotel room waiting to see if he gets the knock at the door.
It should be before the end of the show.
Oh, yeah, that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be in about, in an hour. Yeah.
This is also coming to Soldier Field, in addition to a statue of Don Wachter after he's inducted into the Hall of Fame. In June, golf will come to Soldier Field.
What?
$85, $84.99 to be specific. You can hit 18 balls from the upper deck in Soldier Field onto greens set up on the field. Upper Deck Golf is doing this experience for
I love Upper Deck Golf.
Yeah.
Have you been? They have a great facility in Vegas too.
They're doing the same event at FedEx Stadium in D.C. April.
What day is it?
It's April, not June. April 19 to 21 event.
Oh, that's around your birthday time.
Yeah.
It's a Dan's birthday. We'll send you to Upper Deck in Soldier Field.
Thank you. And we also
I'll buy you a bucket of balls.
play 9 holes. So there's greens set up
I
on the
see.
field, and you get 2 balls per hole.
Ah.
$85. Yeah, you kind of all can pitch in. I know
For-
that's too big. It's too big a nut for
That
anybody
might be
individually.
The wallet a
Yeah.
little much.
Yeah.
I mean, we like you, but I don't know if we like you that much.
If you land on the green, you get a par. Off the green is a bogey, and
Okay.
inside a circle near the pin is a birdie.
Sweet.
Takes about 90 minutes. Putting and chipping challenges, music, beer, food.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'll stay in Chicago for just through the 21st of April,
Is this
so I
your-
can do this Upper Deck.
Is this
event.
your big birthday too?
my big birthday?
Yeah, I can't hold you.
Every birthday is a big birthday.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to be 60 like you are this year.
Hey,
Right?
hey,
60?
Hey,
Yeah.
take it down a few decades.
So that's just a little event happening in Chicago as you're sort of thawing and de-icing, I should say, from this week. You can think about playing golf at Soldier Field in just 2 short months.
And you can also play golf with us if you come with us on our trip. We are heading to sunny Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. That's where we'll be heading with Apple Vacations. And you're invited to come along with us April 6th through April 13th. We'll be staying at the beautiful Maribel Residences Luxury Resort. Check out this place online. Every room, it's like a suite. You have a living room. Some places have kitchens. It's 1,400 square feet. That's the average size of a room. So you want to come with us. It's all-inclusive resort, 10 minutes from the airport. It has 6 gourmet restaurants, 2 bars, 24-hour room service. This beautiful all-inclusive resort is situated between the Rainforest Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It's a 5-minute walk to the beach, and it's simply gorgeous. But, Dan, the best part, there are 9 golf courses nearby, and the one associated with the hotel is called the Flamingo, and you're going to want to play golf there. You can also snorkel, play tennis, or head to the spa. To get more information, where do we go? We go to 560theanswer.com/passport, and every year this trip keeps getting bigger and better, and we have couples that return every single year. Actually, I remember North State Steel.
Yeah.
Tam, that they're coming.
Oh,
The
good.
Walshes will be on the trip, and we know our good friend Jennifer and Jonathan are coming.
The North State Steel couple, they like tequila like I do.
Right. I think, that's right. You were
Yeah.
with them on that day.
I was.
That infamous day. Well, we always have fun on our trips, and we want you to come with us. And the price that Apple Vacation has secured for this trip is incredible and exclusive to us, but it's only available for a limited time. So don't miss out. Book your trip today. Get out of this horrible weather and enjoy a week with us in Nuevo Vallarta, Mexico. 560theanswer.com/passport.
Hola! Coming up at 7:37, could you live without the big 5? Could you live without the big 5? Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. Could you live without them? One Gizmodo reporter is trying, and it ain't going very well. take your calls at 7:37.
And later, there's some new information about the Jesse Smaltz attack. The Empire TV star will explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
They did the golf thing down at Guaranteed Rate Field in the fall. Worked really, really well. They had a good time doing it at Guaranteed Rate Field. And some of the shots from the stands looking down to the outfield where the holes are really cool.
Probably a bigger turnout than for a Sox game.
Yeah, very probably. 6 above right now, -4 on the wind chill. Temps on the rise today in the Chicago area following several days of dangerously cold weather. By the way, the city did miss the all-time record low of -27. That was set back January 20th, 1985. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker running for president. Dan and Amy have told you this morning that the former mayor of Newark says he's running for the 2020 Democrat presidential nomination.
I still live there today, and I'm the only senator who goes home to a low-income inner-city community, the first community that took a chance on me.
49-year-old Booker has been in the Senate since 2013. The U.S. planning to pull out of a major nuclear missile pact with Russia. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is expected to make the announcement today, claiming Russia has been violating the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty struck in 1987. The abortion issue heating up in Virginia and Delaware. Delaware lawmakers have just introduced a bill in their Senate that, if passed, would protect unborn children after 20 weeks into a pregnancy. Virginia killed a bill in committee this week that aimed to loosen restrictions on third trimester abortions. The Catholic Archdiocese of Dallas naming more than 30 priests accused of sexually abusing children. Cardinal Daniel DiNardo is the Archbishop of Galveston and Houston.
We publish it for the gospel. We publish it because of the young people who were harmed. The church is indeed wounded badly by this.
The list of 31 priests released yesterday includes the names of those said to be credibly accused since 1950. Chicago police are touting a significant drop in murders last month. The department says this morning there were 20 murders last month in the city, the lowest January total since 2010. After being cast off the ballot, Dorothy Brown is backing Amara Enya in the Chicago mayoral race. Meantime, candidate for mayor Bill Daley is getting backing today from Congressman Bobby Rush, and Cubs co-owner Laura Ricketts is backing Susana Mendoza. Chicago sports, the Blackhawks set to begin the second half of the season tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. Illinois men's basketball will welcome Nebraska to the State Farm Center tomorrow. Tracking the PGA Phoenix Open, Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler are tied on top at 7 under par. The news service of Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply. 7:33, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains why the left does what it does.
Feeling good about yourself is the motto of the left. I am moral, I am wonderful, I fight for this, I fight for that. These are people who have aimless lives. The essence of leftism is meaning for the aimless, purpose for the purposeless.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
My name is David Hochberg of Team Hochberg, and I have exciting news. To provide listeners with more financing options and lower rates, Team Hochberg is now originating loans for Homeside Financial. Team Hochberg Chicago-based loan officers, support staff, and in-house underwriters allows us to process and approve loans within days of receiving complete files from our borrowers. I'll be highlighting proprietary loan programs like doing a cash-out refinance up to 95% of the value of your home with a minimum credit score of 680 and construction to permanent loans on both FHA and VA loans loans. Team Hochberg's new toll-free number is 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-563-2843. Or visit our new website, 56david.com. Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson, and you'll have to wait until spring to get the outside of your house painted, but winter, perfect opportunity to get your interior painted. You know, people walk into my kitchen and ask, Amy, did you get new cabinets? No, I save myself thousands of dollars by simply having them painted by the experts at CertaPro Painters. So cross the first project off your 2019 to-do list. CertaPro Painters will ensure a beautiful transformation of your home. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered. In-home with a color consultation or online with their color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting experts. You can schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Metra has delays on the Union Pacific West line this morning. There's no electric line or South Shore line service due to overhead wire damage. Eastbound 8094 remains closed. Calumet Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard due to a 3-truck wreck. Traffic's at a standstill for the Bishop Ford Freeway. Westbound, it is bumper to bumper. I-65 to the state line. Westbound I-80 heavy, 355 to 30. Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown, 42 minutes. Eisenhower, 46 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, an hour and 14 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State of Mass, 132 to before the Lake Forest Oasis for the crash. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, we will see clouds and sunshine today. Not as cold, a high near 20. Partly cloudy with rising temps, a low of 18 overnight and a high near 43, but watch for freezing drizzle tomorrow. 37 overnight on Saturday night into Sunday, where we will hit a high of 46. Currently, we have clearing conditions after about 2.5 inches of snow overnight, 5 above at O'Hare, 6 above along the lakefront, 7 above at Midway. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, big jobs number for January, 304,000 jobs. That's nearly double the estimate of 165. Nearly 100,000 more than ADP predicted at 213 earlier this week. So expect a good day on Wall Street in response to that jobs number, plus the corporate reports, Boeing, Facebook, Amazon, another record. We'll talk to Scott Shalady, Scott the Cow Guy. There he is at 8 o'clock about that. But got another airplane story we got to get through.
Oh, no. Is this somebody being too fat to fly?
United Airlines passenger, she's got the middle seat.
Uh-oh.
And Amy's giggling about this because this would be her. She's got the middle seat.
Seats, but if I was forced to sit in the middle seat, yes.
She's got the middle seat. She's sitting between two larger individuals, one woman, one man.
Oh, this sounds like something I lived, but okay.
There was no tuba music on that United Airlines flight, but you get the gist of it.
Where were they flying from where to where? How long did she have to suffer?
4 hours.
Through the fatness.
4 hour
That's
flight.
a long flight. Anything over 3.5 to me is a long flight.
So would you do this? She's feeling a little bit
Claustrophobic, probably, and probably can't breathe.
a little crunched in. So she gets on her cell phone and she starts talking about the people sitting next to her like they're not sitting next to her.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to do this for the next 4 hours. It's just impossible because they're squishing me. Like freaking, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, I flew with Miles. I don't have my choice. Where are you? Yeah, me too. I'm stuck, but at least they'll keep you warm.
Oh.
Please, okay? Where?
We have a window.
Find me a window. Get me out of here. I gotta call you back, babe. I can't do this.
So that's her talking to one of the flight attendants. Find me a window, get me out here. With the part that was bleeped out, that's Norma Rogers, who was sitting in the window seat, listening to her being called fat by the woman in the middle seat, who's unidentified at this point. And she wants her out, too. Obviously, because you have somebody saying you're, and she says literally, fat pig later on. Both about Miss Rogers sitting in the window seat and this gentleman sitting in the aisle seat who doesn't say anything. But Norma Rogers, she responds and the matter escalates.
Excuse me. Can you find her another seat? Because I will not be verbally abused by this or anybody else. I will not be verbally abused by anybody. I'm not tolerating it.
I can't sit here because it's both so big on left and right. I can't even sit here.
Do you want to come up and stand and then we'll find?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Because I can't sit like this. I just can't do this.
Okay, if you want to, just go stand in the back and we'll find an empty seat for you.
Thank goodness. Because I eat salad.
I eat salad. Other passengers get involved.
Well, I'm not politically correct.
Make America great again. That's a good example.
Why don't you sit here?
They bring Trump into it.
Kiss my fat okay? Excuse me, who do I report her to?
Why don't you talk to my water, sir?
Can you have the Bertha come back? I would like to report, and I would like to file a report against her.
Just
As a
calm
platinum
down.
member, I don't tolerate this from nobody. I mean, I travel every week, and this is the first time I've ever put up with this crap, and I'm not having it.
I understand completely.
I am not starting my new year off with this type of negativity.
I'll go get my purser right away.
Okay, thank you.
So the other passengers,
Turned on her.
Turned on the woman who was being moved. The woman saying, "I'm not politically correct. I can't breathe. I'm so squished. I eat salad. Okay, why don't you try and sit between those two big pigs?" And that's when
a little much.
Roger shot back, "Bitch, kiss my fat ass." How many times has this happened to you, with you being the woman having to be moved and the entire flight turning on you, Amy Jacobson?
Well-
We'll also I know it's happened to you, but we'll also take incidents like this from others. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line.
And who's with me is, if you're too big, too fat to fly, that's what I call it, buy a second seat. Honestly, if you're encroaching on my space, I mean, not the armrest, but over the armrest, like it's gurgling up and over the armrest, you should buy a second seat.
If your girth spills over the armrest,
You have to buy a second
seat.
Yeah. And you can buy that second seat. I'm getting a panic attack listening to this, because I know what it's like not to breathe. I couldn't breathe when I was between those two wrappers. And I was 9 months pregnant. Probably shouldn't have been flying
Notorious B.I.G. and Missy
And
Elliott.
I was like this, and then I had my stomach, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I couldn't breathe. Their fatness was killing me. I was dying. So I called the flight attendant over. I said, I need oxygen. Is there a doctor on the plane? They brought me back. I was chugging water because they didn't want me to start having contractions, because their fatness was pushing my belly in on both sides. I was pregnant. It was bad. So I was getting oxygen. Nobody on the plane turned to me. I didn't turn around and say fat. They knew that they were because they were trying to flub it over into their side, because they knew I was pregnant. But it didn't matter because the farms were just, I mean, it sounds awful. And God is going to curse me. I'm going to be obese someday. But anywho, and they felt bad about it. I know that they felt bad about it.
And you're going to be shunned.
And then I didn't say a word. I didn't make any disparaging remarks. They got me the oxygen. The doctor came back. And then the flight attendant said, could somebody please switch? We have a pregnant woman on the plane. It's kind of close.
Boo! Pregnant. Shame on you,
here.
pregnant woman.
And you know who switched seats with me? The photographer from Channel 2. He got up and he sat back there, and I sat in row 2 where he was sitting. And I looked at him, and he flipped me the bird. He's like, "Thanks a lot, Jacobson. This is real fun."
And
because he was sitting. Krumsky was his name. It was funny, but it was very nice of him to do that.
And he died on that flight, as I recall.
No, he did not.
Oh.
He has since retired from Channel 2. But
because of
that was
incident.
very nice of him to
He
do
retired
that.
because of that incident.
No, I didn't retire because of that. But I'm just
so,
saying.
So it wasn't a big deal,
Yeah, I'm
actually.
having a hard time breathing just talking about this story. I'm not kidding you. I have a heart condition.
Okay.
People should.
PTSD. Are you?
I'm just saying, passengers have some rights, and she handled it the wrong way by using the pig word.
Yes, obviously.
But then she even said, "I'm not politically correct," and then somebody, of course, yells out, "MAGA, Make America Great Again," which that makes me mad.
Well, that's
because we don't know what her political affiliation is.
So here, I want to go back to your experience, though. So the guy who switched seats with you.
Yes, Krumsky. Channel 2 photographer.
He's bigger than you.
No. At that time, he's a tall, skinny dude. And I'm tall and thin, but I had a big, huge belly. And I gained like 75 pounds when I was pregnant. I was large margin in charge, if you know what I'm saying.
Must have been disgusting.
Oh, yeah. My girth was flapping over, too.
Fat pig.
But I was like this, and then that was pushing on my belly, and then my lungs were collapsing to get oxygen.
Sorry, I'm having a panic attack. PTSD.
Sure. The county commissioner pulled over in Pennsylvania Amy on a flight while pregnant. It's basically the same deal. So I just don't even understand, like, just the physics of this. Explain this. So the armrests bind people in.
Yeah,
but you're saying
that's why I never get a middle seat.
Did they just enveloped the armrest and it kept flowing over?
Yes, you couldn't even. I could hear. This is how bad was it? It was so bad that I couldn't put my arm on either armrest because both of their bodies had eaten up a fourth of the seat each side, so I had a half of a seat.
He was so fat that Fat Albert said, "Boy, that guy's big."
That's why I don't get a middle seat, because if you have a window seat, at least you have one armrest. If you have the aisle seat, you at least have one armrest. And the last time I flew from San Francisco to Chicago, the guy next to me did not like Bunky, and Bunky was in his space, and we got him moved.
Now, the guy sitting next to the woman in the middle seat on this United flight,
yeah,
I love this guy. He's big, just big dude sitting there. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't acknowledge anybody. He's basically just thinking to himself, whatever. I just want to get this thing moving, and I want to get from point A to point B. He doesn't engage at all. It's pretty interesting.
So there's video. I mean, can we see?
Oh, there's video. Oh,
well,
yeah.
I'll let you know if they're large and in charge. All right, video.
Yeah.
United.
All right.
Fat.
Now, ease into that. I don't want you to hyperventilate.
Ooh.
The vicarious experience. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll turn the volume down.
Yeah. Sure,
because we did just hear it. I need to see how bad it is for this woman.
Sure.
She's just crying wolf.
Cindy and Joliet, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Hi, Amy. You know, this gives a whole new meaning to the word tonnage, but when you have that spillage, it's really uncomfortable, and I really want to know how the airlines balance, people's weight, and I kind of think this carry-on law and all this has a lot to do with the expanding girth of the traveler. You know, it's really
Well, that's yeah. Thanks for the call, Cindy. You've given me an idea. We can have
people are huge.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, they're big, right?
Okay,
they're big and beautiful.
I know, and you're right. The guy's just sitting there and not saying a word.
I love that guy.
He is cool.
So here's the idea. You know how your carry-on bag has to fit into that device, the four corners of that device before you get on. If it's a close call, they make you put your bag in there to see if it will fit in the overhead.
Yeah.
Just do that for people. Come up with a people device where you have to, meet the width and
can't even get
length
out.
requirements of the fuselage in order to get on the flight. How about that?
Oh my gosh! I mean, honestly, if you're that large, you have got to buy 2 seats, please.
John in Naperville.
Yeah, 2 quick points. You know, they hurt us in like candles nowadays, and if you're going to complain, buy first class. And the other thing is, if the airlines could have like seats for people who are disabled and all that stuff, why can't they just have like a few seats that they have for obese people?
Well, thanks for the call, John. Well, but then
No, because why do I have to pay? Then I'd have to pay more to accommodate their seating.
well, also
they should buy 2 seats. It's
Also,
real easy.
if it was special seating for obese people, that's 40% of every flight.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting bigger and bigger as a country, and we're getting so big
How big are we getting?
that American Airlines, I know because that's my carrier of choice. They're expanding. They're making the bathrooms bigger because people can't sit there on the.
Jim in Rockford.
Yeah, I worked in the aerospace industry, and the seat sizes are specified by the particular airline. Like the Chinese airlines, they'll put really tiny ones in because people are smaller. The American airline companies, they need to recognize people are getting larger, and they should just charge people by the pound or by the girth like they do with baggage. Like you say, not deny them entry into the airplane, but they should just reserve it and charge you extra. Like I said, if you don't fit into the into the box, they charge you extra.
Thanks for the call, Jim.
And they were going from Las Vegas to Newark.
Yeah, 4 hours.
That's a long flight.
Text to per Jim in Rockford. Why do fat people get a flight? No extra cost, but I can't have my bag over 50 pounds. That's an equity issue.
I like this.
Yeah.
What? And I'm not a snob. I mean, I'm not
No,
a
of
snob.
course, no, of
I'm
course.
not.
Oh, no, obviously.
not
No, of course not. Don't be
No, I'm
ridiculous.
not.
No,
But-
it's serious.
But,
no,
I mean,
sure.
something's got to give.
What if you can't fit in one seat and you did buy 2? What if they just reroute you to like a DHL or a FedEx cargo plane?
You stop. I'm telling you, one time I took a flight and the man next to me had a seat open because somebody tried to move into that seat, and he said, "No, I bought 2 seats," and I applauded him. I'm like, "That is awesome that you did that. You want to make sure people are comfortable on this 5.5-hour flight."
I don't feel like being a part of communities that are thrown together through circumstance, like all the passengers in a particular flight.
Yeah.
I'm like that dude that was sitting on the aisle seat with her. I'm like, I don't want to get involved in this. This isn't. I don't want to be in a fight on this flight. I'm in my seat. Let's just get this thing moving. You're not my friend. I'm not rallying to your defense. I mean, unless there's something violent going on, like Dr. Dow, you got to help pull him off the plane. I
Right.
get that. But all this stuff. God, must I be involved in a political altercation on my flight from Vegas to Newark too? Can I just watch whatever silly sitcom they're going to put on? The Shrek movie. Paul and Elgin, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, go Hawkeyes. I've had 2 examples. One was I'm pretty good size. I'm like 320.
Yeah, that's good
But
size.
what you do is you kind of you start to joke around. You walk in, you see you're going to have to sit either between some people, and you say, "Hey, guess what?" And then they start looking and they're like, "Okay, do you want the outside?" You have to kind of negotiate a little bit.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you get those seat extenders, then you got to start losing weight.
Well, no, yeah, the extended seatbelt.
Hey,
I was on a plane once,
yeah.
and they
Yeah.
ran out. Listen, people were so fat
How fat were they?
that they ran out of seatbelt extenders.
Yeah, so that's
and
what
so
I'm
people
saying.
just flew without seatbelts. We were
So-
in Turks and Caicos to Miami.
So, Paul,
The other time,
Oh,
it
go
didn't
ahead.
involve weight, but I didn't have a cold until I started going on the takeoff. I started sneezing so much, and I didn't bring any tissues. I looked like a glazed donut in 15 minutes, and everybody had to leave after a while.
I wouldn't want to sit next to that.
They had to leave
You
like
know.
they jumped off the plane. So, Paul, let me ask you this: do you ever fly Southwest and you're like in the C group, and so by the time you get on, there's only middle seats? And if you do, can you convey the look on people's faces as you're scanning the middle seats you're going to sit in?
Yeah, I joke about it. I said, "Hey, you know what? Sorry, Florida's got a lot of good restaurants. Which seat do you want to sit in?"
All right, thanks, Paul. Andy in
got a good
Hinsdale.
This kind of stuff is totally a fault of the airlines because they use zero common sense.
You know, Amy, you like flying American. They board 17 classes of people before the regular people can get on.
I know.
You know,
Premium
they give disability to anybody who doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that the way to deal with it is just be overly nice to the airline employees because they're so used to getting abused all the time. When you show them a little bit of civility, they will totally take care of you. I've gotten so many upgrades and free stuff because I was just nice to them. They're kind of in shock. So you can't start calling people pigs and start raising a ruckus because then the airline employees are going to be like, get this person out of here.
No. Thanks for the calling. So that's a good advice because normally, like, I snap my fingers to get these flight attendants' attention, and I say,
Gross.
I'll have another Dewar's and soda, and this time spill a little in the glass, toots. And they don't seem to like that. So I think Andy might be onto something. Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, I've been spilled on, splashed on, whatever. Yeah, I'm not a real big guy. I'm 6'1", but I'm not big circumference. And I used to fly, not so much anymore, but hundreds of thousands of miles. And I drew the line. It was not too many really huge women. Pregnancy, they kind of got a pass because I understand that's just tough. But I drew the line when the really big person would tilt the armrest up, and then it just like their body extruded over onto me. You wanted to fill in all the extra spaces. And I said always, look, the armrest goes down. And the guy said, you know, look, it's hard for me. And I said, you know, deal with it, pal, because I really don't want the ocean of you flowing onto my beach, okay? That's it. But a lot of these confrontations, well, there weren't that many, but a lot of them, you know, were happening in not U.S. countries. So, you know, if you get tossed off an airplane in like Turkey, does that turn into a Midnight Express rerun?
Yeah, exactly.
Or something?
You might not get on another plane, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to keep your cool. But the thing, it would always be, look, the armrest. I paid for my seat up to here. This armrest goes down. If you squeeze under and over it and flow onto me, I'll be grossed out, but I can't really do anything about it. And you know what? I have a feeling you don't like it either, pal.
Yeah.
But
no, I think
the armrest stays down.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. And I think it's a good idea. I think you just treat commercial flying like you're a hostage being flown out of Iran. Just think Argo. And you want to be on this flight, you got to be on this flight because there might not be another flight. I think that's good advice.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices, as low as $220 per eye with an absolutely free consultation. Text START to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use advanced FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK for as low as $220 per eye. Text START to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's START to 350350.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
President Theodore Roosevelt wisely said, "A vote is like a rifle. Its usefulness depends on the character of the user."
For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, including experienced quality control and assurance engineers, plus validation and compliance experts. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or online at hireasi.com.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Telling Russia, niet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The U.S. is suspending a nuclear arms treaty that dates back to the Cold War, and in 6 months, Secretary of State Pompeo might terminate it.
Russia's violation puts millions of Europeans and Americans at greater risk. It aims to put the United States at a military disadvantage.
Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The American withdrawal from the INF Treaty has been expected for months following questions over Russian compliance with the deal. The treaty, in effect since 1987, bans an entire class of weapons, ground-launched cruise missiles with a range of between 310 and 3,100 miles. Russia denies that it has been in violation. The president, in a statement, saying, "Our NATO allies fully support us because they understand the threat posed by Russia's violation and the risks to arms control posed by ignoring treaty violations." Dave?
John, President Trump just tweeted that he inherited a mess in Syria and Afghanistan, unlimited spending and death, and these wars must finally end. This is the day after his fellow Republicans in the Senate passed a resolution opposing his plan for withdrawing U.S. troops. A lot of Americans found work last month. Fox's Ginny Casola details the Just Out report live.
Dave, there were 304,000 new jobs created last month, many more than expected. Americans were making a little more money. Wages over the past year have gone up 3.2%. The unemployment rate rose to 4%. The Labor Department says the government shutdown had no discernible impact on net hiring, but it did contribute to the higher jobless rate. Job growth in December was revised lower by 90,000. Dave?
Ginny, another senator wants to be president. Cory Booker announced in a video a short time ago he's running.
Together, we will channel our common pain back into our common purpose. Together, America, we will rise.
Booker joins several other Democratic senators also in the race: Kirsten Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, and Elizabeth Warren. This is Fox News.
Temps on the rise this morning, 6 above at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Temps are on the way up after several days of dangerously cold weather. By the way, the city missed the all-time record of negative 27 set back in 1985. Trains and mail running in Illinois, but maybe not some local school buses. Schaumburg Township Elementary District 54 among them, announcing another closure, saying the district's buses through the company they use were unable to start a large number of those buses. The Illinois Department of Public Health telling us at least 144 people made emergency room visits and one person has died due to cold-related injuries since Tuesday. Authorities this morning say a 13-year-old Indiana boy is charged with intimidation after he told Apple's digital assistant Siri that he planned a school shooting and posted an iPhone screenshot of the response on social media as an apparent joke. The Northwest Indiana Times reporting the middle school student is being held at the Porter County Juvenile Detention Center. Investigators do not believe the boy posed a threat or had access to any weapons. The screenshot he allegedly posted was reported to Chesterton police by the boy's social media contacts. Candidate for Chicago Mayor Bill Daley getting backing from Congressman Bobby Rush today. The announcement coming 2 days after Cubs CEO Tom Ricketts contributed $25,000 to the Daley campaign. Chicago sports, Blackhawks are set to begin the second half of the season tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here is Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Wall Street is expected to react this morning to the Labor Department's January employment report. Facebook's earnings were much stronger than expected. Though it's been dealing with a privacy scandal, its number of daily active users rose to 1.52 billion, up 9% from a year ago. Amazon's holiday quarter rose to a record. However, investors are concerned that its growth might not be as strong this year. Insurance company Cigna says its profit declined 46% in the recent quarter. Though its customer base grew, Wall Street was expecting an even weaker quarter. Cigna and Express Scripts merged last year. Commercial real estate and mall operator Simon Property Group is reporting a stronger than expected quarter. It was helped by new businesses opening. And stocks rose to the strongest January in 30 years last month. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you've considered a MyPillow but procrastinated, the MyPillow 4-pack offer is still available. That's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the price of 1 premium MyPillow. They're amazing pillows, so don't procrastinate. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. They're washable, dryable, and have a money-back offer. And you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper. Your mattress will feel brand new and improved for a lot less than a new mattress. Or get those great pet beds that my dog Bunky loves. Just use the promo code Amy for the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on mattress toppers, pet beds, and even the Giza cotton sheets. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
The last time you tried to set up for a presentation, it was a disaster. Your coworkers were embarrassed, and your clients had a look on their faces like they'd rather be anywhere else. It could have gone so much smoother with a conference room designed and installed by Midwest Computer Products. You spend precious time creating the perfect presentation, only to have it all blow up because your audio-visual equipment is outdated and not compatible with current technology. Partner with Midwest Computer Products for a space that dazzles your clients and employees and saves you the constant headache of keeping up with technology. Whether you're reimagining your corporate conference rooms, creating a huddle space, or implementing a video conferencing initiative, Midwest Computer Products is ready to help your business become state-of-the-art. And for a limited time, Midwest Computer Products is offering free design and consultation service when you upgrade your conference room. Get a quote today and see all that Midwest Computer Products can do for your business at MidwestComputer.com. That's MidwestComputer.com.
36 days. That's how long it takes the average company to find their next hire. Glassdoor can help you quickly find the right job candidate in half the resumes. From 62 million job seekers, Glassdoor only matches you with qualified candidates who have the skills and experience your small business needs to grow. And Glassdoor hires are committed. They're 30% more likely to stay with your business longer. Go to glassdoor.com/hire. Glassdoor. Find the right fit for your business.
When it comes to your identity and devices, there's no soundtrack to let you know you might be in danger. That's why you need LifeLock with Norton Security to look out for the silent threats of today's digital universe. No one can prevent all identity theft or cybercrime or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock detects threats to your identity, and Norton protects against online threats. Join now at lifelock.com and use promo code NEWS to get 10% off your first year.
8:08, and a check on the roads in the AM 560 traffic center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Traffic on the southbound Tri-State and eastbound 8094, heavy from Halstead to Indianapolis Boulevard. 2 left lanes remain blocked after an earlier wreck. Westbound, it's stop and go. I-65 to the state line and Vernon to Bishop Ford Freeway. It's slow going and icy on northbound I-65 from 30 Maryville to 8094. Kennedy inbound, an hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown quicker than the express. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to the Bird Circle. Stevenson, an hour and 14 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State, a mess, 132 to past 60. There's a crash on the shoulder. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Intervals of clouds and sunshine today, not as cold. High today 20, partly cloudy. Temperatures at 18 for the low tonight, but they'll rise through the 20s. Drizzle, freezing on surfaces early tomorrow, high 43. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
6 above at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I was mentioning earlier in the show after we had Brett Baer on, it'd be fun for Brett to come to town to participate in April in this upper deck event at Soldier Field where you can hit golf balls off the upper deck onto 9 greens that they set up on Soldier Field. This would be fun for Scott Shellady to come back to the city.
Is he a big golfer?
No, this would be.
Okay.
Price Theory Summer Camp at University of Chicago.
Oh, can you sign me up for that too?
Yeah. The Becker Friedman Institute, as in Gary Becker and Milton Friedman. Price Theory Summer Camp to introduce students from outside the University of Chicago to price theory, which emphasizes the application of basic economic tools to problems. That would be good for you, too, especially since you've just completed that online trading academy course.
Exactly.
Nice
maybe
transition.
Maybe you can sponsor Peyton and Eli.
Sure, I
Get 'em into
can.
that. They're into numbers. I love that stuff.
Price Theory Summer Camp for the kids. That sounds like fun.
Guys, I got a new camp for us.
All right, it's time to be joined by Scott the Cow Guy. Scott Shellady, Fox Business contributor. That's a muted cow. Moo.
That's better.
That's not really great.
And Amy,
like a top.
Amy, I am a golfer, and I am big, but I don't know if that means I'm a big golfer.
Hey-o.
Zing. You would not be able to sit next to Amy on a plane. She's very persnickety. No, I'm saying.
Well,
he's not that big. Oh my!
Just saying. We were just having this discussion. All right, Scott. Here's the deal. We got 304,000 jobs created in January. We got strong corporate reports from the likes of your Facebooks and your Amazons and your Boeings. We got a market rally in January. Is all of that enough to turn you from a grizzled cynic to a silly-hearted optimism about 2019? A silly-hearted optimist about 2019.
No, I think we still have a chance, an outside chance for some decent growth. I mean, high 2s, maybe 3%, and maybe 3% in 2019. So, things are okay. That was a good report. What they won't talk to you about is after Jay Powell, the chairman of the Fed, speech this week, this number and this report might have just turned the Federal Reserve into a bunch of Keystone cops because they went way to the dovish side of things this week and trying to tell the market we're going to be transparent, we're going to be day-to-day, we're going to be data-dependent. And that was to try to settle the market down from what the last 6 weeks of 2018 brought us, which was absolute mayhem and chaos. And now he's got to deal with this strong report, which would suggest otherwise. So they're going to be turning on their heads right now, and that's going to be fun to watch for the next 6 months because that really won't be talked about a lot. This is a strong report, and it's really going to put the Fed in another problem because they're good at getting themselves in those corners, but it's going to be interesting to see how they can try and talk their way out of it.
And now the unemployment rate ticked a little higher to 4%, but do you think that's the effect of the government shutdown?
Well, that's another good point, Amy. I think that's people that really still had a job that answered, no, I don't have a job. I think that's really what that was. But number two is that, if you're the average investor, and I think, Dan, you'd probably agree with this, you'd be hoping for another government shutdown because these numbers prove to you that those 800,000 people are really non-essential, right?
Well, exactly. And all of this doom and gloom, including from the likes of Jamie Dimon playing politician again, which he should really try to resist the temptation to do, talking about the temporary furlough of 800,000 non-essentials is going to result in zero GDP growth for the first quarter. I mean, give me a break. Does he understand where growth comes from?
Right, well, that's absolute garbage to suggest that our economy, the size of our economy, can be held hostage by 800,000 non-essential employees. And let me ask you a question. I wonder if he has 800,000 non-essential employees in his firm. No, they're all fired.
Well, some of
Right?
those people that were
What government?
FBI
Yeah, but I mean,
agents.
think about it. The government ran just fine, basically, right? And it wasn't if it wasn't for the fact the public worry about some air traffic controllers. I mean, again, look at this number. This was over that period. There's going to be a lot of investors out there saying, "Hey, let's have another government shutdown in February because if this is what it brings, let's keep going."
Yeah, it's interesting. James Freeman, writing the Wall Street Journal yesterday before the jobs number was posted today, noted many political reporters spent the last 6 weeks cataloging alleged harms to the economy from the partial government shutdown. Meanwhile, outside of government, America's small companies were ramping up their historic effort to employ new workers. Job creation, according to an NFIB report, was solid in January with a net addition of 0.33 workers per firm, which was up from 0.25 in December. That's from NFIB chief economist William Dunkelberg. So maybe the focus should be seeing if those non-essentials in the federal government can actually make their bones in the private sector where small businesses are growing.
Right, and the small business. James, he's a good guy. He's a friend of mine, and he's a smart cookie, and he's exactly right there. Those numbers were strong in December, and they got even stronger in January for the small businesses. That's a good thing. And number two is you're right. You know what? Why can't we talk about all the benefits that these non-essential 800,000 government employees get that the at-will employee in the public sector does not get? Right? There's a lot of people that I work with on a day-to-day basis can lose their job tomorrow, and they have no recourse. Mm-hmm. So I was getting angrier and angrier as this thing went on about how these people can hold this economy hostage, and guess what? They can't. These numbers prove it.
So these job numbers, it's going to be good for stock market today, do you think? We're going to close high?
Stock market's a vote today about what you think is going to happen in 6 months' time. So it's hard to really say an individual event today is going to make that big of a difference. These are just strong, and what this does is say that little hiccup that we had towards the end of last year was wrong, and it was a lot of people's imaginations being their own worst enemy. But number two is that what's going to really help the stock market is if we get some more good news out of China with the tariffs. That's kind of really what's been hanging over people's heads. We kind of got the Fed out of the way this week by saying that they're going to be ultra dovish and listen to the market. But now they're going to be in a box now. If we continue to get strong numbers, they're going to have to turn on their heads, and they could actually come out of this really looking like the bad ones.
As somebody who was been stationed in London for 15 of the last 30 years, are we paying too much attention to how Brexit goes? Is it that important to America's growth and the robustness of our economy, or is how that still has yet to play out really important to America?
No, I think what sells is the drama. I don't think it's going to be that important. But what the interesting part of the drama is how similar that situation is to the U.S.'s situation with Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump, right? Because the people voted for Donald Trump, and arguably they voted for his campaign promises. So Strath could say the people voted in the U.S. for border security or border wall because that was one of his pledges. In the UK, the people voted to leave Europe. So to make it really easy for all the listeners, it's as if we elected Donald Trump as president, but we had to have that election ratified by Congress, which would never happen, right? Because those people are crazy. Well, the British people elected to leave the European Union, and it has to be basically ratified by Parliament. And that's the problem that they're having over there. So now, Theresa May, which is the Donald Trump of Great Britain, is having a difficult time trying to make a deal with Europe to leave and also appease the voters. Like Donald Trump's trying to deal with Nancy Pelosi and trying to appeal to the voters. So those things are really in parallel. It's more interesting in the drama, but as far as an economic impact, I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, how much would the UK save if they left the European Union?
Well, that's how much would it cost the UK to stay in the European Union for the next 50 years? Mm-hmm. That's the question you want to think. I mean, it's going to cost them, 50 billion, 60 billion probably to leave now. Yeah. But what's the cost of funding a European army, because there's rattlings about that starting up? What's the cost of bailing out another small European country or a banking system somewhere in Europe? What are those costs going to be over the next 50 years? I think they're going to be gigantic. So whatever you have to do today to pull that Band-Aid up quickly, I think you'll save a ton of money going forward, because the European Union is just it's bureaucracy run amok.
And what is your sense of the importance of a deal on trade with China here as negotiations continue in earnest?
I think that's probably the most important thing for the market right now. I don't think there's anything else out there that you're going to be. I mean, the Fed was something we were all worried about, but they put themselves in a box yesterday, but the market liked it, right? Or whenever Powell spoke. So the next biggest thing is going to be tariffs. And I guess the U.S. government came out this morning and said that their March deadline is a hard deadline. It will not be extended. So that could be something that upsets the apple cart. But look at the market. Look at these numbers. It's hard to say how much that will upset the apple cart. But I do know that if we do get a trade deal with China and everybody's happy with something, they've all given up something, but they all can go back and say they've won something, it will be good for the markets, because that's what this market really is kind of slowing down about. It's 100% the tariffs to me.
He is Scott Shellady, Scott the Cow Guy, Fox Business contributor. Scott, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good weekend.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560. The Answer.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
It's a fact. Workmen's compensation makes companies less productive and less profitable. It becomes more complicated with every amendment by the legislature. It's an increasing burden on employers. It's important that your company identify the risks and do everything possible to minimize your exposure. For more than 3 decades, the firm of Spiegel and Cahill, a food for the poor business benefactor of AM 560, has effectively represented businesses and insurance companies in Illinois and Indiana with workmen's compensation defense. The attorneys understand and are sympathetic to the real burden your company faces. They excel at helping you minimize the payouts and pursue alternatives to litigation. You'll work with one attorney, and the Spiegel and Cahill team is committed to being responsive and managing costs. To learn more or request a no-obligation workman's comp consultation, call Spiegel and Cahill, the workman's comp defense professionals in Hinsdale at 630-455-4070, or visit defendingbusinesses.com. That number again, 630-455-4070, or online at defendingbusinesses.com.
When it's cold outside, you can dress for it. But when your furnace gives out, hey, a blanket fort can only do so much. So call your local 1-Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We'll replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. And that beats a bunch of blankets any day. Right now, cozy up to big savings on a complete heating system. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1-Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Let me ask you something. What would an extra income stream mean to you every month? How would that change things for you? More vacation time? Could you secure your retirement, spend more time with your family? Well, Online Trading Academy is a leader in training and investment education. Learn about how money is really made in the financial markets and how investing in them could be your pathway to achieving financial freedom. They will help you learn skills designed to be mastered and applied to generate monthly cash flow. At Online Trading Academy, thousands of people just like you have discovered an education path designed to allow them to reinvent themselves and take control of their finances. I'm so impressed with Online Trading Academy that I signed up for my own free class, and you can too. Just call 888-984-TRADE. That's 888-984-TRADE. Get 2 free passes to their next class so you can check this all out. This is a limited opportunity and seats go quickly, so call 888-984-TRADE or visit them online at tradingacademy.com.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Danny, you're participating in the company chili cook-off?
No. This story out of Phoenix, speaking of food, Phoenix restaurant.
Yes.
Rashad Thomas is his name.
Getting a case of the Amy's there, are you?
Rashad Thomas, husband, father, U.S. Air Force veteran, poet, and essayist. Who determines what's offensive? Is the question he asks himself, and then he proceeds to answer. A photo in a downtown Phoenix restaurant raises the question. The photo is of coal miners covered in soot drinking at a pub. Picture of them on a wall in downtown Phoenix. You see the problem, don't you?
Why is there a problem? It's what people used to do. You work all day, you go home, you have a shot and a beer. Before you go home, excuse me.
The photo of the men covered in soot.
That's what if you've seen people come out of a coal mine, that's what they look like.
Covered in soot.
Oh my, are you kidding me? They think that's blackface?
Bingo.
No way. You seen people that work in the Gary Steel Mill? They come out, they've got soot and black stuff on their face.
Because they're racist.
Dirt. No, they're not racist. It's part of the job unless you shower there.
Rashad Thomas said the photograph caught his attention. Friends told him it's coal miners at a pub after work.
Oh,
you know why? Because it was a photograph of coal miners at a pub after work. That's why they told him that. I asked a Latinx.
Oh, what's a Latinx?
It's Latina, but to cover the gender spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got to get the nomenclature down if you want to live in 1984, Amy. I asked a Latinx and white woman for their opinion. Couldn't ask friends. He's got to identify their race and general gender fluidity. They said it looked like coal miners at a pub after work. Boy, everybody keeps telling this guy the same thing, but he's not having it.
I saw the picture. It looks like a bunch of coal miners after work at a pub.
That's because it is.
Having a shot and a beer.
But you have to look through the actual picture to the reality. Then, when he kept asking him, in the same way that I kept asking you, to find the hidden lethal meaning, they stepped back, frowned, and said, it's men in blackface. I asked the waitress to speak with a manager. Instead, I spoke with a white restaurant owner. Offered my explanation of why the photograph was offensive, and yet the photograph remained. For me, the coal miners disappeared, and a film honored for its artistic merit, despite being the most racist propaganda films ever, Birth of a Nation, surfaces in which white actors appear in blackface. The white owner saw coal miners in the photograph, therefore it was not offensive. That photo, writes Mr. Thomas, tells me I'm not welcome.
It's part of our nation's history.
Blackface is only a glimpse of a larger issue, he writes. The larger issue is the lack of representation of marginalized people and their voices in Phoenix. Boy, oh boy. I mean, it's a lot to read into a photo of coal miners, isn't it? Barely not. Frequently, Mr. Thomas adds, I enter art galleries and I'm not represented in the art. Well, heavens. Which leads to uneducated curation for exhibitions. While shopping, I'm ignored because it's assumed I'm unable to purchase anything, or I'm followed by a security guard because it's assumed I'm a threat to the store. At a downtown Phoenix restaurant, my concern that the photograph of men in blackface, coal miners, was a threat to me, and my face and voice were ignored. They weren't ignored. They disagreed with you. A concept that's lost in this day and age. I get it. The operators of that downtown restaurant can choose to take the photograph down, leave it up, or create a title card with an intention statement. No matter their decision, I think the photograph should be taken down, sacrificing one image for the greater good.
All right, just, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
That, and then did you hear about the owner of a restaurant in San Mateo, California? If you wear a MAGA hat, he cannot serve you. He said, you know, if you come in here wearing, it's like similar to wearing a swastika, white hood, or any other symbol of intolerance and hate. Now, but guess what, Dan? It hasn't happened yet. But if it does happen,
I don't care.
I mean,
he doesn't have to
please,
serve people with a MAGA hat on. Doesn't bother me.
I want to go in there with a MAGA hat.
Sacrificing one image for the greater good. That's the dangerous statement. That's where you have the ushering in of totalitarianism. I mean, I hate to be dramatic about it. When you start talking about this is the truth of an offering, an artistic offering of any sort, or this is my interpretation of it that's different than the artist's interpretation, and you get to use the state, and he's not saying that here, but let me tell you, this is where he wants to go. Anybody who speaks in the parlance of the greater good and sacrifice, imposed sacrifice. This is how you get the arts and the educators and the clergy to fold in with the state, and that's how you foment the rise of fascism. That's how it actually happens, not a couple of knuckleheads who voted for Trump wearing a MAGA hat. That's not how it happens. What you're seeing here, where truth is irrelevant and one perspective is morally superior to the other as it pertains to a photograph, and the difference in perspectives demands censorship, self-censorship, or the next baby step, impose censorship, that's where you start to see your liberty really constricted. That's where you're far down the path on a dangerous road.
We have some happy breaking news, Dan.
Bearman?
Bearman, Don Wachter.
Or Wachter.
Wachter.
He was only on the
got
show
the
2 hours
knock.
ago.
He's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the fan aisle of the Hall
sound
of
of
Fame.
two hands clapping,
So
Don Wachter.
He got the knock. We
All
have him
right.
on in the 6:35 hour. So
Ba-
congratulations.
Bearman, we're going to send our interview with him at 6:35 to Dumont at the Museum of Broadcast Communications.
Exactly. Was that excellent?
All right.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll pick up the new details, or alleged details, in the alleged attack on Empire star Jussie Smollett. Are we getting any closer to whether this happened, and if it did, who is responsible at 8:38?
And what was that powdery white substance that was sent to the Empire set? We'll tell you. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Well, you'd think it was yesterday with all the schools closed today. We just checked with our friends at the Emergency Closing Center. There's lots of late starts like Stagg High School and Andrean High School in Maryville, Indiana. But those are just two examples of others. Many are closed today. Crete-Monee Middle School, just reading through the list right now, several other districts opening, or there are late starts, like at Sandburg High School this morning at 9:30. Some schools like DeKalb are closed today, at least for now. We'll keep our eyes on that for you as their problems develop this morning from the overnight snow out to our west, up to 3 to 3.5 inches of snow. Temperatures are on the rise today, and sun has broken out officially at O'Hare after several days of dangerous cold. The death toll from that cold snap that gripped the Midwest all week is now at 21 after a 38-year-old woman was found in her apartment in Milwaukee. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the U.S. is withdrawing from the nuclear treaty with Russia. Pompeo announcing this morning the U.S. is suspending obligations under the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. As Dan and Amy told you right when it happened, the U.S. adding 304,000 jobs in January, part of a blockbuster report from the Labor Department that also notes the average wage paid to American workers edged up by 3 cents per hour. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker announcing his 2020 run for president this morning.
I still live there today, and I'm the only senator who goes home to a low-income inner-city community, the first community that took a chance on me.
The Newark, New Jersey native is a 49-year-old vegan, former Stanford football player, never married, joins a growing field of Democrat candidates already the most diverse in history on the Democrat side, according to the Democrat Party. Governor Ron DeSantis looking to get rid of Common Core educational standards.
You complained about Common Core. I hear you. I told you I'd do something about it. And today we are acting to bring those promises into a reality.
An executive order this morning from the Florida governor empowering his education commissioner in that state to develop an alternative to make sure students learn the skills they'll need to be a success. Chicago police are touting a significant drop in murders last month. Meantime, the Chicago Police Department will soon be under court oversight. A federal judge has approved a long-awaited consent decree. In reaction, Chicago Police Union leadership and rank and file called the approval a dark day for Chicago policing. Blackhawks and Sabres on the docket tonight. The news, a service of Discover. Get your free credit scorecard today, even if you're not a Discover customer. It includes your FICO credit score, and checking your scorecard won't hurt your credit. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard, and limitations apply. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Have you inherited a coin collection and need help figuring out what it's worth? Do you have your own collection that's just sitting around collecting dust? Turn those old coins into cash at Kedzie Coins. Cash in and pay off bills. Use the money for a new set of wheels. Kedzie Coins is also buying scrap silver and gold on the spot, and they'll give you the best fair market prices. They're committed to the strictest standards of excellence and ethics, an accredited precious metals dealer member with family roots in the heart of Chicago and members of the Professional Numismatics Guild. In the market to buy, Kedzie Coins is your destination for one of the largest selections of gold and silver bullion minted in the U.S., an enormous inventory of government-issued world coins and U.S. paper money and currency. Visit KedzieCoins.net to see the full line of available stock, or stop by one of their 3 locations, Kedzie Coins and Jewelry on 59th and Kedzie in Chicago, What a Gem Jewelry and Coins in Berwyn, or their flagship store, Broadway Jewelry and Rare Coins in Kankakee. For more info or an appointment, call 773-436-0777.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free, no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-600-9519. That's 1-800-600-9519. 1-800-600-9519.
You probably don't realize this, but between you and your employer, you've contributed as much as 12.4% of your earnings to Social Security, and you've been doing this since your very first paycheck as a kid. Add it up over 40 or 50 years, and it could make your 401k contributions look like chump change. But there's one big problem. Claiming your Social Security benefits is complicated, confusing, and riddled with trapdoors. Hi, this is Tom Portino. According to PBS and Boston University professor Lawrence Kotlikoff, the Social Security Handbook has 2,278 separate rules governing its benefits, and it has thousands upon thousands of explanations of those rules. Talk about a user's nightmare. Learn how you can help get what's yours. The answers are in our new reports on maximizing your Social Security benefit. It includes little-known strategies that could earn you tens of thousands of dollars more, even as much as $100,000 over your lifetime. This could be a game changer. Call right now to receive this information. 630-519-4742. That's 630-519-4742. 4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc. Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
It is 8:39. A check on the roads in the AM 560 Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Eastbound 8094 traffic is stop and go before the Bishop Ford Freeway to Klein Avenue with a crash in the right lane. Now there's a new closure, Broadway to I-65, where there's a wreck. Westbound, it's stop and go I-65 to the state line. Indiana Toll Road eastbound at Dunes Highway. Actually, between Dunes Highway and I-65, there's a crash. Traffic only gets by on the shoulder. Seeing eastbound delays from Ripley to 94 as well. Northbound I-65 is jammed from 30 to 8094. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Kennedy, an hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to the circle. Stevenson, an hour and a half, 355 to the drive. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Not as cold today. Clouds and sunshine, a high near 20. Partly cloudy with rising temperatures overnight, a low of 18 above and a high near 43. Watch out for some freezing drizzle and slick conditions tomorrow. It's 2 above at O'Hare, 7 above along the lakefront. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. President Trump has now weighed in on the case of the alleged attack against Empire star Jussie Smollett in Chicago on Tuesday morning. Here's the president.
The Chicago situation, the actor from Empire who was allegedly attacked with racist and homophobic.
That I can tell you is horrible. I've seen it last night. I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so that's the president weighing in on what he understands to be the case based on the allegations made, and despite the fact that, the likes of No Justice, No Peace, Maxine Waters have blamed him for the alleged attack, if indeed it did occur, because there's still a lot of questions surrounding its occurrence.
Yeah, and my sources are telling me that they are going to subpoena his phone records along with his manager. His name is Brandon Moore, who apparently they both live in the same building, who he's apparently on the phone with at the time that these alleged assailants yelled, "This is MAGA country." Yeah, because they didn't hand over their phones to investigate. Even redacted, they even said you can redact other phone numbers or take out. We just want to make sure that you two were on the phone together as you told us you were. Also, I've heard that they're trying to get a warrant to search his apartment, looking for items such as other clothing line, rope that was not tied like a noose around his neck. It was tied like a tie around his neck that was still on him when police arrived at his manager's apartment.
Well, now, Eddie Johnson, the Chicago police superintendent, says the police have no reason to believe he's not being genuine.
Oh, are they saying that because he's a minority, gay, Hollywood star? We don't have a lot of them here in Chicago. Because they're mostly based, obviously, in Los Angeles. But are we giving him too much attention? I mean, they have 20 detectives on his case. And my friend told me normally they'll have 2 or 3 for a homicide. And he has a little scratch under his face. I'm not saying that something didn't happen, but I don't think it went down as he told police that it did. And those 2 people that they released that surveillance video, Dan, they have not generated one tip from releasing that photo.
The 2 silhouettes in the vicinity at around the time of the alleged attack, a good point was made over at CWB Chicago, quoting a tweet here. Consideration regarding the potential persons of interest, those 2 silhouetted individuals on that video snapshot. The men are walking away from the attack scene 15 to 30 minutes before the incident per the police's timing of the events. So maybe that's why the photo of those 2 individuals, the silhouettes of those two individuals, hasn't gone anywhere because of the points TWB makes. They're in the vicinity, but that picture is 15 to 30 minutes before the alleged attack occurred, and they're walking in the opposite direction. Well, that makes some sense.
According to Second City blog, it's, Chicago police officers go on there.
Second City Cop.
Second City Cop, excuse me. They said that, bosses want to look like they're doing something to appease Mayor Emanuel and the Hollywood money people. That's why they released this photo, which has absolutely nothing to do, they think, with the attack or alleged attack.
TMZ has a report on this, too. TMZ is helping to make this an international story. They've got a report of a witness of sorts. A woman who lives in Smollett's apartment building told cops she saw a suspicious man whom she said looked like a redneck loitering just outside the entrance to the building an hour and a half before Jussie says he was attacked. The woman, who would not let TMZ use her name, said she walked out of her building at 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning to take her dogs out and saw a man near the door, pacing between the parking garage and entrance, looking agitated and smoking a cigarette. She's sure she wasn't watching an Orson Welles movie. She says he looked out of place. He was a white man with scruff on his face, wearing a blue winter beanie, a blue zip-up sweatshirt with a hood, and blue jeans that were too short, exposing thick gray hunting socks with camel-colored dress shoes. She says, in addition, she noticed what looked like a rope or a clothesline protruding from the bottom of his sweatshirt made of white and blue material. That's pretty detailed. She added. She also added that he was staring at another man 300 feet away, who was standing near another entrance to the building. She got creeped out by the man, so after 5 minutes, she retreated back into the building. She woke up at 4 a.m. To find a lot of security personnel around. She was told by the concierge that Jussie Smollett had been attacked, and the concierge implored her to call a detective, gave her 2 phone numbers. She made contact on Tuesday afternoon, according to the TMZ report.
Also, too, keep in mind, it was the second coldest night of the year. I mean, it was minus 20. And, if you think about it, homicides last month were at a 9-year low. Home robberies, violent crimes, car theft, lowest in 20 years.
Doesn't mean it doesn't
because
happen.
Because of the cold in January.
Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Yeah, right. But there's still crimes committed. So.
Not at the rate that we normally see. I mean, a 20-year low for that month of January, that's...
But crimes were still committed, so that's not dispositive of anything, except probability,
and the story that lady provided to TMZ, which she didn't give her name, so police can't talk to her, and according to our sources...
Well, she called police, so...
according to TMZ, but they don't know that they got the phone call.
Well, how do you know that?
My friend doesn't know about that phone call who works as one of the detectives investigating the case. And also the details she described.
20 detectives.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But guess what, honey? They're still going through hundreds of hours of videos. They don't have what she's describing on the surveillance tape of that building. And that's a little bit of a problem.
So a redneck-looking guy with camel-colored dress shoes, huh?
Holding a rope? What kind of rope was it hanging?
That's a lot of detail. Taking her dog out for a quick walk at 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. She's out there for 5 minutes, and she's got the drop on this guy like it's a scene from, a Graham Greene novel. A lot of detail for an eyewitness.
Must be an imaginary figure because it's not on the tape.
I don't know if it's imaginary or not. They obviously haven't been identified. Then she's got the drop on this guy with that level of detail, and she sees him staring at another man 300 feet away. So she's sizing up this whole dynamic outside of her apartment building while she's, taking the dog out for a quick squirt. Does that strike you as plausible? Does this case, the allegations in this case made by Jussie Smollett, strike you as plausible?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. This morning, TMZ is saying that sources wanted to clear up 2 points. First, that Jussie told cops his assailants were wearing MAGA hats. That's not true. They just screamed MAGA country. This is MAGA country. And the last point, that are reports that Jussie had the rope around his neck long after the incident when he was being treated at the hospital. Jussie's people have told TMZ that he kept the rope to preserve the evidence.
Oh, okay. I keep the rope to preserve the evidence. Why do you have it around your neck? When are we going to hear about, this would be interesting. Police are not going to tell us, of course, but it'll be important when we hear about what, if anything, was found on the testing of his clothes. Was there a chemical found on his clothes, as he alleged, bleach or some other chemical that was splashed on him in addition to the noose, in addition to the attack?
And remember the surveillance video they have of him. He's on camera, then he's off camera for a minute, then comes back on in a minute and has this clothing line rope around his neck. Could it happen? And I don't know. Guess so.
That's possible.
It is possible. It is a minute.
It's possible. If this attack occurred, it's a terrible thing. Are there people out there that are hateful and ignorant and violent? Sure, there are.
Ooh.
Does what we know to be true at this point and what's been reported? I'm sure Chicago police detectives know a lot more than we do. Does that give you more or less confidence that this occurred?
Ooh, and also before I forget, there was an envelope that was sent to the cast of Empire, and there was a white powder substance in it. The FBI was investigating. It turned out to be aspirin.
There have been a lot of these incidents, again, places like college campuses where they're, false flag operations.
Oh, or somebody put a swastika on somebody's door and
looking for attention. Yeah.
Or trying to catapult their career. Look, his show on Saturday in West Hollywood is sold out. It wasn't the day before this event happened. Now it's sold out, and then there's a rally planned for him on Saturday morning with the LGBTQ community. And he's going to be honored. They're going to march in solidarity with him. We will have the audio for you on Monday.
Well, I want this case because of all of the attendant publicity and commentary. Chicago police shouldn't just let this case go, particularly with the resources that have been devoted. This either happened and the responsible parties need to be found and prosecuted, or it didn't happen and Jussie Smollett needs to be prosecuted.
Oh, if they find out that he filed a false police report, yeah. That's the very least they could do, and he should pay back the city for the money in overtime hours, because that's what people are getting, a lot of overtime right now, Dan, because of this case. Because it's a black eye for Chicago.
And because of the nature of this case, how politicized it is, how likely is it, if they don't think it happened, that they would just walk away from it? Just let it be. And that's unacceptable. Jim in Willowbrook.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
I just had a question. Well, first off, I got a question and a comment. What does a redneck look like?
Redneck, good question here. Hold on a second. Let me get it.
The cable guy? Or what is it?
Redneck looks like a white man with scruff on his face, wearing a blue winter beanie, a blue zip-up sweatshirt with a hood, blue jeans that were too short, exposing thick gray hunting socks with camel-colored dress shoes. So now you know.
Well, as I told your screener, I was a police officer for 25 years. I hunt, I fish, I'm an outdoorsman. A lot of people consider me a redneck. I drive a truck, a semi for a living. I have a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you?
I don't have a racist bone in my body, as far as my wife tells me.
Your wife would know.
Yeah. But she, if this is truly something that happened, great. Let's get this guy. Let's make sure that these two go to jail. But if it doesn't, the woman that made the comment about the witness, and then this Smollett guy, I don't even know who he is, to tell you the truth.
Nobody does.
They both need to go to jail.
Thanks.
It would set a precedent for everybody else that wants to pull something like this, to show them that we're not putting up with this crap anymore.
Thank you for the call, Jim. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why she didn't use her name for TMZ.
Yeah.
And what redneck? Do you say camel dress shoes?
Camel color dress shoes.
Redneck wears dress shoes?
She's got a really good eye, this witness.
Rednecks don't wear dress shoes. They wear boots.
One resident of Streeterville, and I'm a resident of Streeterville, tells
Dan, where were you Tuesday?
CWB Chicago, I know his story is odd, but I do believe him. There are a lot of robberies down there, the Lower Wacker entrance. It's creepy even during the daytime. There are homeless people, creepy-looking people down there on a regular basis. Yeah, I'm down there all the time, too. I haven't seen that very much. But
never saw a homeless person down there.
But there are creepy people down there, homeless people, too. And then there are guys standing around with bleach and a noose waiting for Empire cast members to happen by. I don't know. Don't know about that. Sean in Elmwood Park.
Poppycock. 100% poppycock. And every day that goes by and the more they talk, the more it's proven. Listen to this description. Oh, I get it. It was the homophobic pro-Trump J. Crew mafia. They're vicious out on Lower Wacker. You absolute moronic liar. Not to mention, who leaves the noose around their neck? What are you walking around with it like it's an accessory? Insult me by putting something on my body. The first thing I do is tear it off. And you won't give the phone over to the coppers. Why? Because you're a liar, a fraud. Here's our only problem. We've got the Keystone Cops on it. What's their success rate in crimes? 0.08? My dog could do better at an algebra test than the Chicago detectives solving crimes. That's our only problem.
All right, thanks for the call, Sean. By the way, I mean, just in terms of putting something insulting on your body, who can beat you to the punch? You see these like 1987 rugby shirts from the Chess King this guy wears?
Yeah.
Sean from Elmwood.
Yeah.
Did you
And
see?
that coat the other
Did you
day
see
that
my
he wore?
great aunt's petticoat that he had on last week in studio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks homeless.
Boy, talk about a glass house he's living in.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560,
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer. A good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping